play will field it. Now the ball fumbles. The ball is out. Payne tried to get on top of it. I think Jacksonville recovered it, and that'll do it. That'll do it. Jacksonville has recovered the fumble. Jacksonville takes over. They're going to take a knee and win the game here in New York.
Jaguars football is on the air. This is the Publix Tailgate Show. JP Shadrick and Mike Dempsey have all the news and information you need to get you ready for today's game. The Publix Tailgate Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, Geico, Ticket Exchange, and by TIAA Bank. Now to get things started, here are Mike Dempsey and JP Shadrick.
It's week 2 in the National Football League, and one of the biggest regular season games in franchise history is 3 hours away. A rematch of January's AFC Championship game. The defending AFC champion New England Patriots at 1-0 visit the 1-0 Jacksonville Jaguars. Kickoff time set for 4:25 at TIAA Bank Field. And today's game is presented by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. We're in the HannaniaAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field. And after months and months of talking about that game in Foxborough, maybe today we can finally move past it. And you won't get the full revenge today if you get a win, but it'd be nice to exercise those demons today.
Yeah, so you're telling me the winner of today's game does not advance directly to the Super Bowl this year?
I don't think that happens.
Probably
in week
not
2.
as much on the line. But it's a game that, JP, no matter what the players are saying, I think there's some special interest in this game. I think it's on both sides. I think from the Jaguars' perspective, they felt like they were the better team, should have been in the Super Bowl. They felt like they did themselves in that contest up in Foxborough. Meanwhile, I think the Patriots are taking some of the Jalen Ramsey comments and internalizing them about how, Tom Brady's just kind of like an average guy and Rob Gronkowski's overrated. He's good, don't get me wrong, but he's not great. I would think that there's a little internal motivation. I know people are going to say the Patriots come out and play hard every single week. Guys get up for certain things in the National Football League. It's week 2. You're on the road. It's going to be hot. It's going to be miserable. They got some injuries to deal with. Why not rally the troops around some of those comments? I think that's what I would do if I were the New England Patriots.
It's going to be a fun day. Obviously, the build-up around this game this week in Jacksonville has been fantastic. Everybody's had this one circled no matter when it was going to be scheduled. The NFL put it week 2, of course.
He wasn't talking about Miles Jack wasn't down against the New England Patriots. So this one's been circled on the schedule, as it would have been no matter when it fell. But the fact that it's the home opener, the fact that they're 1-0, the fact that they're coming off a run to the AFC Championship game, you're going to see the most raucous opening day crowd in a long, long time, I think, in Jacksonville.
It's a hot one today. Feels like right around 100 in Jacksonville. Stay hydrated today for this 4:25 kickoff between the Patriots and the Jaguars. Let's get to today's top stories and start off with the status of Leonard Fournette. The Jaguars running back did not practice this week. He's been battling a hamstring issue. He spoke with the media on Thursday, and he sounded confident then.
Like I say, my main focus is to straighten it back up, get the swelling or whatever that is in there, and come out Sunday and play. Yeah, most definitely it's a long season ahead, but as a competitor, nobody doesn't want to miss any games. You know what I mean? Especially we have a lot of big games early in the year that's coming up, and it might not count to some people, but I think every game counts to me, as far as a player and then one of the leaders on his team.
All right, that's on Thursday. Reports today that he was going to work it out around noon in the indoor facility. He was listed as questionable for this game. They've signed Brandon Wilds off the practice squad, cut Rashad Green. What's the gut here?
My gut is that he doesn't play, especially the fact that they brought up Brandon Wilds off the practice squad. I think 24 hours out, you have a pretty good idea of his availability. Now, I don't know that for a fact, JP, and if he is active, great. I hope he can play, and I hope he plays with no restrictions today, but that's been my gut all week long, that Leonard Fournette would not be able to suit up for this game. It is a long season. You got to take that into account. If this were week 15, 16, and playoff seeding is on the line, it would be a different story. Who knows how the season's going to play out. If you have any questions whatsoever, you got to hold him back. But that's the thing. If the medical people clear him, Leonard Fournette is not going to hold himself himself back likely, in my opinion. So I guess we'll find out when the inactives come down about 3 o'clock today.
That's true. Here's the final thought on this for now from Doug Marrone on Friday, the last time he spoke publicly to the Jacksonville media.
Well, he had a good day yesterday, so that's encouraging. And today we just wanted to make sure we got a good lift and everything in and get him ready to see how he's going to be this afternoon when we talk to him. We'll work him out. Yeah. We'll just see where he is. I'll go back in there and talk to him. Just a running while we ran, we had the GPS and looked at it and it was at a high level.
Yeah, they had the GPS technology and all that around here going into the decision today. And, an hour and a half before game time, the official inactives will come down. This is, of course, the AFC Championship game rematch. It was a fourth quarter to forget, of course, but it all really started in that quarter with the Miles Jack wasn't down play. And for linebacker Miles Jack, this week's game against the Patriots ranks highly on his career list.
Yeah, honestly it is. It's definitely the most important game of my life just because of, number one, the magnitude of the game. Number two, we want to go 2-0 in this season. And then playing a team like New England, if at the end of the day we feel like we're going to be in the playoffs, so we want to win. We want to gain home field advantage. So we feel like beating a team like New England, who's typically number one in the division, if we can get a win on them, that would be huge. So most important week of my life for sure.
Most important week of his life, he says.
Well, I guess he's never been married, right? He doesn't have any kids that I'm aware of. So, if you're a football player, this is your career, right? I guess, to me, the AFC Championship game would be a more important week, but that's in the past, right? And we don't talk about the past, JP, when we're football players. At least we're led to believe that. Anyway, it's a big week. I'm happy that Miles Jack acknowledges it. Why hide, the fact that this is something you've anticipated all offseason? That doesn't mean you overlook the New York Giants in week one. You can think about more than one thing, I believe, in life, and I think in the back of their mind, they've had this game circled, every single member of this organization.
It's taken a life of its own, the whole Miles Jack wasn't down thing, Mike, from T-shirts to beers, craft beers across the street, which I think they're probably having a few today out in the parking lot.
Photoshopped road signs, you name. It's been everywhere. It's been signs popping up at WWE wrestling events with Miles Jack wasn't down. It's become a bit of a phenomenon. Certainly bigger here in the 904 area code. But wouldn't we love to see the ball in Miles Jack's hands running the other way, just like he did last week, sometime today?
Either him or Jalen Ramsey. That would be nice to see. He had some comments, of course, in the ESPN The Magazine article a few weeks back about Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, saying that Gronk isn't as great as everyone says he is. And when corners are lined up on him, the corners have a great game. Well, Jalen was asked about that this week and offered up a little bit more on the big tight end.
He good. He good now. We ain't going to get it twisted. He's good, but, you saying this to me, is it supposed to, bring fear to me or something? No. All right, then. I don't fear no man, period. So he going to have to come out there and line up on me. Or however it goes. He got to play. He got to play us this year. So.
Yeah, he's good. He's good now. That's Jalen Ramsey, a classic from Jalen there on Gronk. He's not going to back down from what he said. He's never done that before. He says a lot of things, but he's confident that this defense, if it's not him on Gronk, they can at least hold him in check today.
Look, they were doing a pretty good job on him prior to him getting hurt. That is Gronk getting knocked out in the AFC title game. He only had one catch, I think, for 21 yards up to that point in the contest. He's the best tight end in the National Football League. He is, period, and he is one of the all-time greats, and I think Jalen Ramsey is downplaying his effectiveness overall. If Gronk struggles against big corners, tell me a tight end who doesn't struggle in relation to Rob Gronkowski. He's the best in the game. He has been for a long time. He scores touchdowns at a ridiculous rate. Tom Brady trusts him in double, triple coverage to go up, out-muscle people for the ball. He's quick for his size. There's nothing he can't do. And he's a great asset in the running game as well. One of the best blocking tight ends in the National Football League. So, when Jalen says, am I supposed to be scared of him? No, you're not. But there's a large range between being scared and not giving a guy the proper respect that he's probably earned in the National Football League. Jalen's entitled to his opinion. I think he's on an island if he thinks Gronk is just an average player.
We'll see how it goes today. Big game feel here in Jacksonville. That's because it's a big football game.
No doubt.
New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars at 4:25 today. National coverage on CBS television. Those are some of today's top stories. Let's look around the National Football League. The early games are underway. But, boy, there was a bombshell out of Cleveland last night, Mike.
Well, there was. As the Cleveland Browns announced yesterday, they'll be parting ways with wide receiver Josh Gordon. Who's had past violations of the NFL's substance abuse policy, was reportedly late to the team's facility yesterday after apparently hurting his hamstring during a non-team sanctioned photo shoot. At least that's what the reporting indicated. There's been further reporting that he's been late multiple times, missed rehab. Remember, he was injured a little bit in the preseason. Weren't sure if he was going to play right away. He didn't report right away because he went for some kind of tune-up rehab work to make sure he didn't have any issues going into the season. A statement by the general manager of the team, John Dorsey, read as follows: "For the past 6 years, the Browns have fully supported and invested in Josh, both personally and professionally, and wanted the best for him. But unfortunately, we've reached a point where we feel it's best to part ways and move forward. We wish Josh well." They then said they would release him on Monday, but then subsequent reporting indicated that multiple teams have reached out to the Browns to say, hey, can we give you something for Josh Gordon? He's on a very affordable contract, and he'd only be a restricted free agent next year, so it's a lot more likely right now that Gordon gets traded to another team that's in need of wide receiver help than he gets released outright on Monday. So we'll follow that story, obviously. Some high-level players that were iffy to play today that have suited up include Aaron Rodgers, dealing with a bone bruise and apparently a sprained ligament in his knee, despite the fact that he said like 2 days ago there's no ligament that was damaged in his knee. These guys are funny with the information that they give out in terms of injuries. Devontae Adams, the top receiver for the Packers, dealing with a shoulder injury, but he is active as well today. Marlon Mack makes his season debut for the Indianapolis Colts. And Deshaun Jackson, coming out of the concussion protocol, led off the game for the Buccaneers with a 75-yard touchdown today against the Philadelphia Eagles. One other note, JP, the NFL Foundation announcing this morning that it will donate $1 million to Hurricane Florence relief efforts. So a nice story there.
Very good stuff around the National Football League today. We're just getting started on the Publix Tailgate Show, and we'll return with first rounds on us. Our resident first-round picks, Jeff Lageman and Tony Baselli, join us for a game preview of the Patriots and the Jaguars, a 4:25 kickoff time, and from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. This is Jaguars Radio.
This is Clark Judge of the Talk of Fame Network with some advice for you this NFL season. Sign up with FanDuel because now, more than ever, it has more ways to win. Like the Beat the Score contest that pays out everyone who hits a certain score with no worrying about how others are doing. Just hit the score and win. Or the easy way to find friends to play head-to-head contests for money or bragging rights, whichever you prefer. And best of all, you get $20 when you sign up with your first deposit. Will sound like a good idea? Well, that's because it is. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Clark, and you can thank me later.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? You build the legendary F-Series trucks, America's best-selling trucks for 41 years, with Super Duty and Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year, the F-150. Now is a great time to check out Ford F-Series trucks, with great offers, leases, and financing at your local Ford store or online at buyfordnow.com. America's best-selling based on 2017 calendar year sales. Best-selling trucks based on sales December 1976 to November 2017.
Who's the Jaguars MVP? At Mellow Mushroom, it all depends on their favorite ingredients. Each month of the 2018 season, Mellow Mushroom will highlight a Jaguars player's most valuable pizza and raise money for a charity of their choice. This September, try the Funky Q and support Blake Bortles and the Blake Bortles Foundation and its work with first responders and individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Visit mellowmushroom.com and find a restaurant location near you.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brooks offers rehabilitation services such as inpatient care, outpatient therapy, skilled nursing, home health, assisted living, and memory care. They also have a wide range of community programs, as well as a comprehensive pediatric program. Brooks offers high-quality care from their expert clinical team to help you meet your rehabilitation goals. To learn more, visit brooksrehab.org. That's brooksrehab.org.
This season, it could be you that takes the field through the TIAA Bank Take the Field sweepstakes. For each home game, one lucky fan will win 2 club tickets and pregame sideline access to be on the field as the Jaguars are introduced. To enter and for official rules, go to TIAABank.com/takethefield today. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Void where prohibited. Entry period from 8/6/2018 to 12/5/2018. For official rules and complete details, visit TIAABank.com/takethefield. Sponsor TIAA Bank, a division of TIAA FSB.
JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the HannaniaAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field. Patriots Jaguars at 4:25. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. Hey, good day to remember. JTA's Game Day Express is back and ready for action. Don't get stuck in game day traffic, and boy, there's some today. Park at any of the 5 convenient locations and then hop on board and take it to the bank. It's time for First Rounds on Us.
New York Jets, first round choice. Jeff Lageman.
Jacksonville Jaguars have selected tackle Southern California, Tony Baselli.
Only way to the top is looking out for number 1. And that's us. Keep looking out for number 1.
Our resident first-round picks join us now. 1989 New York Jets first-round pick, Jeff Lageman. 1995 Jacksonville Jaguars first-round pick, Tony Baselli. You want to practice your Duval today, Tony?
Let's hear it.
Duval.
That's all you got on the big boards
better
today.
than that.
If you haven't heard, he'll be the honorary Duval guy at the start of the game today.
Hey, yeah. Can I ask a question? I know we've done this for a couple years now.
You may not.
Why do we boo Jeff and I when we get introduced? I don't understand.
Well, I got booed.
No, you did, but
Yeah.
so I didn't. So,
I don't even
We
think
don't want Jeff to feel lonely.
They didn't even cheer you. I mean, it was just they were kind of indifferent. They were like, "Oh,
who?
Offensive lineman."
That is fair. That's fair.
Leonard Fournette, what you got, guys?
I don't think he plays, and if he does play, I don't think he's a factor in the game. If he suits up,
he's not going to play.
I don't even think he suits up. I think he's inactive. I think he's one of the inactive guys.
Come on, I mean, he's your bell cow running back, and he pulled a hamstring last week, left the game, didn't return. He's not playing the next week, and you're not even going to think about using him. And I think that even though that Doug Marrone talked about it's not gamesmanship, he was being honest, and that it was going to be coming down to a game time decision. You don't make a game time decision with your bell cow running back in week 2 coming back from a hamstring. That's hogwash, So, and here's the thing. The facts don't lie. They are better when they don't have Leonard Fournette. The numbers don't lie.
Well, now, in fairness, let's qualify that, though. The stats show that, and the record last year shows that they never lost. But last week, he went out, and the production went way down. But here's the difference, in my opinion. When Nathaniel Hackett has an entire week to plan for no Fournette, the offense has been very, very effective. If it's a game plan that Fournette is the centerpiece of the run game and then all of a sudden mid-game it changes, I think that's harder to adjust to. He's out all week. I guarantee you Nathaniel Hackett,
they've
planned on him not playing this week, and the game plans around T.J. Yeldon, Corey Grant, and that's what we're going to see today. I'm with Jeff. I don't think Fournette does anything. I don't think he's activated, and I don't think it has a big determination on this football game.
They did well without him last year when he was a late in the week inactive, right? A Sunday inactive.
Yeah, but they knew all week that there was a chance of it. So you're game planning where he's not your centerpiece. And I think where you get in trouble is when in the first quarter, first half, all of a sudden the guy that you've kind of built your game plan around a little bit in the run game is gone.
And there's a lot of times where they're saying that he's a game time decision we're going to see during the week.
Though.
But look, on Monday, Tuesday, from a doctor's standpoint, I think also from a planning standpoint, they have an idea of what's going to happen, whether a player plays or not. So, and I think this week they knew all along that Leonard Fournette was not going to be available. I'm assuming that. And I think last year when he wasn't available, they knew that as well. And I think he calls, they call a different game when he's not available. I think a lot of times when Leonard Fournette is in there, and I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but they depend or lean on him more when he is in the lineup. It's where they feel very comfortable just handing him the ball, whereas when they don't have him, I think they feel the need to have more balance within their offense, and it makes them better, in my opinion.
What about Calais Campbell? Never like to see a guy show up on the injury report after the week of practice is done.
I don't think it's any impact. I think he plays the normal rotation. I think one of the things when you play the Patriots, or really any team in today's NFL, if anything comes up the night before, like Calais is a veteran, so it could be as nothing as more as he woke up this morning with a little bit of an achy knee, went to the training room, and they said, we're going to report it because if anything were to come out, then we're in the wrong. We could be fined. And so I think there's people are overly careful in that situation nowadays with the way the league rules are written. From what I am hearing and understand, I don't think it's a big deal. I think Calais will be fine. I think the adrenaline will get going, and he'll be out there and with zero negative impact to his play.
But it's still concerning because he's arguably your best defensive player, and all of a sudden he pops up on the injury report on a Saturday or a Sunday. That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that's what I think it is.
How do you cover Gronk? And if you do cover Gronk, who else can Tom Brady throw to? Who else is a danger for this? Well, let's start with this. First of all, Tom Brady throws the ball to everybody. Gronk is just part of that, and I think there's not a quarterback that's better in the National Football League at spreading the ball around than Tom Brady. You literally, and I did a film package on this on Jaguars.com where, look, you have to cover every blade of grass with Tom Brady. That's how good he is. And it's every blade of grass from the time that he sees your defense when he's approaching the line of scrimmage because he's great at pre-snap reads. And how do you cover Gronk? I think it's the same way that the Jaguars did it last year, which I think you'll see combinations of Deshaun Gibson and Barry Church and the linebackers. I would love to see Jalen Ramsey, and I know that's been a lot of the talk, but we never saw that last year. We never saw Jalen go over to Gronkowski and play him man up. Now, could they do that? Sure they could, especially because the Patriots wide receivers are not exactly threatening, I guess would be the right word, because, it's Philip Dorsett who's just starting to work his way into the good graces, I think, of Tom Brady, and then also on the other side, you don't have a guy that scares the heck out of you in Chris Hogan. So, you could play a nickel guy on either one of those guys and feel very comfortable not having Jalen on one of those wide receivers.
All you got to do is look at the flip card.
Well, you're holding your cough button down with your arm there.
All you have to do is look at the flip card and look, and they got Beanie Flower on the flip card, and he's already been cut, meaning they don't have,
Benny Fowler?
Benny, same thing. He's not even on the team anymore. That's my whole point.
Right.
You look at it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who is it besides Gronk? Who cares? Tom Brady's going to get it around because you have to think about the backs too. One of the most dangerous things about this Patriot offense is the backs out of the backfield.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a question mark there too, because they lost a guy, obviously, for the year, and Jeremy Hill, who was a very good running back. They got him from the Cincinnati Bengals. Burkhead is a question mark with the concussion, but James White's a really good football player. But beyond him, Sony Michel, what are we going to see out of him? I don't know. He hasn't played. He's got a knee issue, so the big question mark with the other options once you get past the main guys for the Patriots.
Is the Jalen Ramsey the comments that he made about Gronk and Brady a motivating factor if you're the Patriots, Tony?
No, I don't think it matters one bit. Tom Brady and this group have played in huge games. What Jalen Ramsey says about Gronk one way or another, I don't think matters to them. The way their culture is and the way they approach it, it's not going to change one bit. And you look at a guy like Gronk, he's pretty secure in his place in the NFL and who he is as a tight end.
Come on, Tony.
I don't think it matters
one
bit. I don't think it matters.
Look, I know on the outside you would expect the Patriots to not react at all because that's just the way Bill Belichick has brainwashed his entire football
Jeff, once
team.
the game starts, what does it matter? They're going to play.
It doesn't matter, but look, Jalen Ramsey's comments would make anybody angry. Seriously. And Tom Brady, you don't think Tom Brady and Gronkowski are going to go, if they end up connecting and Jalen Ramsey is in the neighborhood, they're going to go, take that.
Well, I think you'll see a bigger spike from Gronk, a little bit more excitement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if the question is what is it, the motivating factor, how it's going to affect the game, I don't think at all.
No, it doesn't change the game, but
that's my point.
It gives individuals motivation.
Will it be a little bit more chippiness out there, maybe a little bit more talk? Yes. So will it be fun to see? Absolutely. I think it's entertainment. But as far as the impact of the outcome of this football game, zero.
Fournette is not available. And that's what you think the Jaguars do best on offense is run the ball. That's maybe their most dynamic player on offense. If he's not there, what does Bill Belichick focus on defensively? He likes to take the best thing away.
He's going to do the same thing that he would if Leonard Fournette was in there,
100%.
which is to try to take the running game away from T.J. Yeldon or Corey Grant, whoever's in there, because that's just Bill Belichick, and he's going to try to put all the pressure on Blake Bortles and see how he handles it. Now, can he do that? I mean, look, if I were Bill Belichick or any other coach in the National Football League facing the Jaguars, that's the way to approach it, because until Blake Bortles proves that he can beat you with his arm, that's the way to go about it.
They're going to try to keep him behind the sticks, and the way you do that is to take away the run, regardless of who the back is. I agree with Jeff 100%. Bill Belichick has told, as they sat down on Monday and started game planning defensively, which he is very involved in every aspect of the game plan on both sides, really, but especially defense. The entire conversation was, how do we take away the run game completely? And if Blake Bortles in the passing game of the Jaguars beats us with this young group of wide receivers, fine. But the run game is not going to beat us this week. And
included in that run game is Blake Bortles running the ball.
Absolutely. They'll have a plan for that. And if you look at this roster and you look at their front, and watching the tape this morning, they have some big old hosses, and it's not going to be easy to run between the tackles against this Patriot team. And so if they'll set the edge, they're one of the key things that any Belichick defensive game plan, if you watch them, they always try to set the edge and push everything back to the middle of the field. And they got some hosses inside that it's going to make it tough to run the ball.
You got that, JP?
Hosses. Country boy Tony over here.
Well, I was just doing that for Jeff. He's got the outdoor show and everything else. Yeah, make sure he's on the same page.
We'll come back and get fantasy picks. Frank Frangie joins us as well. And a little later, the voice of the Patriots, Bob Socci, explains how the Patriots maintain their focus with so many offseason headlines year after year. Patriots Jaguars at 4:25. And from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, this is Jaguars Radio.
This is Josh Lambo of the Jacksonville Jaguars alongside my dogs Lana and Wyatt. It's hard saying goodbye to these two on game day, but that all changed this year with the NFL's first ever in-stadium dog park, thanks to our partnership with Pet Paradise. Are you ready to bring your furry friend to the stadium? Enter the Pet Paradise Top Dog Sweepstakes. Each week, 10 lucky winners will receive 2 game tickets, a parking pass, and the chance to bring your dog to Pet Paradise Park at TIAA Bank Field. Visit jaguars.com/petparadise and enter today.
In Florida, bicyclists have the same rights and responsibilities as everyone else on the road. So when you ride, follow the rules. Always wear a helmet and use lights on your bike. And drivers, watch for cyclists. Give them space to ride. And don't forget, when making that right on red, look to your right first to see if a cyclist is approaching in the bike lane. We all have a responsibility to keep ourselves and each other safe. Alert today, alive tomorrow. Because safety doesn't happen by accident. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Looking for a more comfortable way to camp or tailgate at Jags games? Visit Campers Inn RV for their integrity pricing guarantee. With their open and honest buying process, you'll never pay more for freight or dealer prep. There are no hidden fees in their prices ever. And as a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they want to thank you for your support. That's why they're offering this season's game attendees $500 off the purchase of a new RV. Just show them your ticket. So visit Campers Inn RV, the RVer's trusted resource, I-10 West, exit 351, or campersinn.com today.
This is Lori Fournette, mother of Jacksonville Jaguars running back Leonard Fournette. My son is always prepared with a game day plan, and so am I. As a busy mom, I'm always looking for easy ways to save time. Publix helps me tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, assorted varieties of Dawn 24 to 28-ounce dish detergent are on sale, 2 for $7.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At VyStar, we believe in better. Better convenience, so members can bank any way they want, whether it's at a branch, on a mobile device, or at one of more than 20,000 fee-free ATMs across North America. We believe that people have better things to do with their time. If you believe that convenience is better, join VyStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Grab your passport. Virgin Atlantic wants to send you and a friend across the pond to watch the Jaguars take on the Eagles in London this season. Visit jaguars.com/Virgin Atlantic to enter the Touchdown in London sweepstakes. You could win a round-trip flight on Virgin Atlantic, a 3-night hotel stay, 2 tickets, and sideline passes to the game. Don't miss out as the Jags take on the defending Super Bowl champions at Wembley Stadium. Visit jaguars.com/Virgin Atlantic. Keep calm and fly on, Jags fans.
The Publix Tailgate Show continues right now.
Back at the HananiaAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field, the Publix Tailgate Show rolls along. 4:25 kickoff time for the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform, and a busy schedule at Daly's Place coming up. Troy Sivan coming up September 26th. Darius Rucker September 30th. Need to Breathe October 2nd. DailysPlace.com for tickets. We welcome back Tony Baselli, Jeff Lageman, and welcome in Frank Frangie for the first time today. Hi, Frank.
Hello. What's up, fellas? How's everybody?
Oh, we're doing fantasy results last week.
Yes.
And it's a little different this week because we're in the late window and early games are underway. So results and rules, please.
All right, results. First of all, everyone did pretty well. Everyone averaged over 20 points a man last week per player. So, JP, you did get the first pick, but 65 points, pretty solid effort for the low total of the week.
Long season.
Antonio Brown was your big guy along with Drew Brees. Tony and Jeff tied with 69 points. I should have mentioned Frank's in the sandwich there. He's at 67. Tony and Jeff with 69
Oh,
apiece.
we're ahead of you, huh, Frank?
And,
I like that.
I had 79 in week one.
Show off.
Tony had Michael Thomas, and I had Alvin Kamara. Both of them put up 40 last week in week one. So we've decided for week two, so everyone just doesn't try to race to get Patrick Mahomes, who's already thrown 3 touchdowns today. We're only picking guys whose games have not kicked off because there are plenty available. There are 6 games, 12 teams, and we're only in week two. So the order is JP. Frank will have the second pick. We flip-flopped Jeff and Tony from their order last week because they tied. So Jeff will be third, Tony's fourth, and I pick last. That means, JP, you are on the clock. Ezekiel Elliott. He does not hesitate. Frank Frangie.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley. Plenty of good running backs, I think, in this late window. Jeff, who you got?
I will take Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. Told you there are plenty of good running backs here. Tony, who would you like?
Boy, a lot of guys came off the board that were looking good. I'm going to go Odell Beckham.
Odell Beckham Jr. All right. I'm going to go with Emmanuel Sanders at wide receiver. And let's see what I like here among quarterbacks. You know what? I'm just going to go with Case Keenum and try to double up with the Denver Broncos against Oakland today. Tony, need a quarterback or a running back?
I'm going to go Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, Garoppolo against Detroit. Jeff?
I will take Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, Monday Night Football versus the Chicago Bears. Frank, you got Todd Gurley. Who else you taking?
I can't do it. I will take Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
Wow.
Wow. That's a bold pick there. Okay. JP, need a quarterback and a pass catcher, please.
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. I knew I could count on my man JP to come through there.
Brandon Cooks.
And Brandon Cooks for the Rams. Like that. Frank, need a wide receiver or a tight end.
I can't take Gronk. I can't. I've never picked against the Jags yet. I
Neither
can't do
have
it.
I.
I can't do it.
Neither
I can't
have
do
I.
it.
Tank your whole season.
I just can't do it. I'm trying to do it. I just can't make myself do it. Give me D.D. Westbrook. I think he's having a big game.
Westbrook
Almost did that one, too.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, need a receiver here.
I'm going to take A-Rob.
Okay. Allen Robinson on Monday Night Football. Tony, running back.
Question, Mike, just because you do this. I know David Johnson's fighting a back issue.
He's not on the injury report.
He's not on the injury report. So the question is between Marshawn Lynch and David Johnson is my question. I'll go David Johnson.
David Johnson,
yeah.
All right. And I'm going to go with Jordan Howard for the Bears on Monday Night Football. So here's what we've got. We've got JP with Blake Bortles, Ezekiel Elliott, and Brandon Cooks. Frank has Dak Prescott, Todd Gurley, and D.D. Westbrook. Jeff has Russell Wilson, Saquon Barkley, and Allen Robinson. Tony went with Jimmy Garoppolo, David Johnson, and Odell Beckham Jr. I've got Case Keenum, Jordan Howard, and Emmanuel Sanders.
You know, Case Keenum was my sleeper pick on the Thursday night broadcast for fantasy.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick this week. I mean,
no pass rush.
Short week at altitude. No pass rush. I think they're.
Emmanuel Sanders had a great opening game, so I like Case. That's what was going to be.
I like
pick.
Cortland Sutton there, the rookie. What he's added to Demaryius.
I thought I was going to be able to sneak that through. I was waiting on Case Keenum.
Fantasy is this a love affair right here? I mean,
Tony had a great week. I like to listen to his advice.
Thank you.
He's a wise guy.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of study over here, Frank.
Get out of here. Tony Baselli, Jeff Lageman. We'll see you guys a little bit later.
There you go.
There's Tony Baselli. Fantasy picks are in. We continue now with Frank Frangie, the Frangie File. A little longer with the play-by-play voice of the Jags on this beautiful, hot September day in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. A long-anticipated football game. You've felt it around town all week long, and it's finally here, Frank.
Yeah, I don't know that I can't remember being quite this excited other than the postseason last year. I think everybody feels it. I mean, Suzanne and I are in Publix today, just in Publix. There's more teal in Publix. There's no beer left in Publix, just in case you want to know. I think you do feel it all over town. I will say this, it's hot now. I mean, look, teams practice in the heat. Everybody's got a hot training camp. I get that. But it's hot. This is like one of the hotter games, has to be, doesn't it? I mean, they've played, and I know there's a lot of hot September games in Florida. But man, this one's hot out there now.
And it's tough to replicate that humidity, too.
Right.
I mean, it gets hot temperature-wise up in the Northeast, but that humidity is tough to cut through sometimes. Frank, I think one question I got maybe the most of early in the week after the Jaguars beat the Giants was why not more Corey Grant, particularly when Leonard Fournette went out. Now, I think people have been focused on Corey Grant's lack of use in the second half of the AFC title game for months now. So what about the game plan? Let's assume Fournette's not playing. How much Corey Grant do we see?
Yeah, Mike, I think, and I got the same question. There's a limited amount of things you do with Corey. That it's not like, I mean, he's not an every down, every play. I don't even think he's an every third down back. He's a guy you use with another back. That's certainly been good for them. He's a guy you swing out of the backfield. You sneak him out on screens. You might line him up in a slot and run a reverse. But, Mike, I think the answer to that question, at least my answer is, because there's a limited amount of things you can do with Corey Grant, there's only going to be so many touches. And, by the way, I am someone that thinks, I don't think you hold anything back. You barely won the game last week. I get that. But I am someone that thinks they feel like he matches up better with the Patriots. I'm not sure they run as well defensively. We saw that at least in the first half last year. So I think part of the plan was to, again, not hold him out because that's silly, but to game plan the Patriots with him, not the Giants. I think you see a lot of number 30 today. And I haven't felt all week like Fournette was going to play. I said this on our air. When you see a guy go down that dramatically, he took the gloves down, he threw them down. You know how frustrated he was. You could tell it was a somewhat significant hamstring injury. I thought right then he wasn't playing against the Patriots. Now we're guessing. We don't know. So I think you see a lot of Corey Grant today.
Coming up later in the Publix Tailgate Show, you're going to hear from Marcel Darius, Jaguars defensive tackle, and he'll tell us that to get to Tom Brady, you got to get around his feet, push the pocket. Yeah. Pass rush is huge in this game because Tom gets it out so fast. And then in the AFC Championship game, Yannick Ngakoue wasn't 100%. Calais Campbell wasn't 100%. And they couldn't get home when they needed to in the fourth quarter on Tom. It's important for this game today, Frank, to get home on Tom Brady.
Yeah, make him fidgety. That's the thing. It's not rocket science. It's just not everybody can do it. Not many can do it. If you can make him fidgety. Remember the game when the Broncos beat him a few years ago, Peyton's last game? How fidgety he looked in that AFC Championship game, how uncomfortable. He almost looked old. Remember that? He almost looked old that day. If you can make him fidgety, and by the way, I thought the Jags did early in that game last. That's how you beat him. And, you know, it's almost the only way to beat him. They are the Patriots are the it doesn't matter team. Brandon Cooks got shipped out. Amendola's gone. Edelman suspended. It doesn't even matter. It's like that every year. 3 more guys, 2 more guys, this guy, that guy, and he'll just pick you apart with whoever's out there with him. So the only way, JP, to your question, is to make him fidgety in the pocket. And yeah, I like their chances of doing that today.
The Patriots committed to stopping the run in the second half of that AFC title game, Frank, and the Jags didn't really adjust, right? They continue to go to it and said, hey, we want to run even if you know it's coming. If they're unable to do that today, do they have enough in the passing game to get the job done?
Well, I think you're going to see the passing game early. Fournette or no Fournette, I think you're going to see the passing game early for that reason. Last year was a weird deal, Mike. You're up 10 in the fourth quarter. So even though people say you should still be aggressive, I get it. You're up 10 in the fourth quarter. You got to be careful there. What you don't want to do is throw a pick and all of a sudden You blew the fact that you were up 10 in the fourth quarter. So I think this game's different. I think you see a vertical passing game, or at least the ball in the air early on. I think it's obvious that the Patriots are going to take away the run and make them throw. So go ahead and throw early and show that you can. I think you see a very innovative game plan and a very aggressive game plan from Nathaniel Hackett today.
Frank Frangie, voice of the Jags, with us. Have a great day today. Enjoy this one, and this could be one to remember for a long time, Frank.
No question, fellas. Thank you.
W. Yes.
I'm going to try my best. See you, boys.
Bring it home. Frank Frangie joining us. When we return, Jags Director of Player Development Marcus Pollard, and how to bother Tom Brady with defensive tackle Marcel Darius. Patriots Jaguars at 4:25. And from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, this is Jaguars Radio.
Okay, so we're here to see who's going to go for the win.
First off, Molly took it to the next level with the chairs and the coolers.
Here comes Emma, bringing it with those killer boots and that portable grill. Oh my, I think she's going for it.
Mom, I think the hot dogs are on fire.
Hold on, honey. Ladies, where did you go to get ready for the game?
Steinmart. Visit any one of our 6 locations in Jacksonville for all your tailgating needs as we proudly support the Jaguars this season. Steinmart. Saving is a beautiful thing.
Jaguars fans, Ashley Home Store is where you'll find the perfect Tempur-Pedic mattress to power your life. As the #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer in America and the official furniture and mattress store of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Ashley Home Store offers Jaguars fans special pricing and 72 months no-interest financing. Just tell them the Jaguars sent you. Plus, a portion of every mattress sold helps provide free beds to local children in need. Shop for Tempur-Pedic at Ashley Home Store today and go Jaguars. Subject to credit approval. See store for details.
Attention Jags fans. This is your chance for you and 3 of your friends to fly to Houston to see the Jaguars take on the Houston Texans December 30th. All you have to do is download the free Money Pages app today, and you can enter to win airfare, hotel stay, and tickets to the big game, all covered. The savings don't stop there. When you download the free Money Pages mobile app, you'll unlock great local savings on the go. So it's simple. Pick up your phone, go to the App Store, and search for the free Money Pages app. Good luck, and go Jaguars.
Some things make a house your home. Like endless hot water that makes the tranquility from an everyday shower your thing. When heating water with natural gas, you have hot water when you need it, save money, and earn a rebate up to $675. Your home. Our safe, reliable, efficient energy. Love natural gas. Find rebate details at peoplesgas.com.
Be the MVP of your next tailgate with the official wing of the Jacksonville Jaguars from Dick's Wings and Grill. Whether at the stadium or cheering from home, game day every day with Dick's 365 wing varieties, burgers, wraps, and more. And for somewhere to catch all the sports action, Dick's Wings and Grill's 23 area locations have been a local fan favorite for more than 20 years. For the best wings, ice-cold craft beer, and best fans, feed where the big cats feast. Visit DicksWingsAndGrill.com for a location nearest you. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is the Pepsi that gets you stuff. Crack one open, and you could get a Weber grill or an acoustic guitar. Because when you collect codes on specially marked Pepsi products, you'll get summer rewards from Pepsi Stuff. We'll even get you tickets to see Dierks Bentley.
I like the sound of that.
We do too, Dierks.
Grab the Pepsi, enter the codes, get the stuff.
Drink Pepsi, get stuff. Pepsi Stuff Rewards Program subject to official rules at PepsiStuff.com. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 plus. All rewards subject to availability and may have limited quantities while supplies last.
The Publix Tailgate Show continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the HananielAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field. NFL Week 2, the Patriots and the Jaguars, 4:25. The kickoff time. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank. Created to perform, built to last. Welcome back. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Here we go. Marcus Pollard with us, Director of Player Development. How you doing?
Doing great. Can we do a monologue, bro? What happened?
What do you mean?
Dropped it. Come on.
What?
Do how we normally do it every Sunday so I can say
Okay,
it.
hold on. All right.
Okay,
So
let's
we
go.
welcome in former NFL tight end, Jaguars Director of Player Development and Youth Football, Marcus Pollard.
Holding it down.
Here
There
he
you
is.
go. There
Man,
you
I
go.
was sorry. It's a late
Very
kickoff.
upset.
I mean,
Come
what do you?
on now. Let's go.
Sorry, man. My bad. Okay. Hey, a big ball game. Patriots in. We all know what happened in January. It's been all over town this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to keep it out of the building. Guys know what that's about, but you have to move forward. It's a new season. It's week 2 and all that.
Yes.
How do you balance it?
Well, you balance exactly what you just said. You have to toss it out. Last year was last year. You have to find a way to recoup and get that one out of the system, and we had a lot of time to do that. And I think the way the guys attacked practice this week and, not having Leonard around and Tailvin part of the week, I think guys really rallied around them, and I'm looking forward for big things from my guys today.
So how does that impact the play on the field? Does any of that, whether it's the Patriots fired up about some stuff that Ramsey said or the Jags feeling like they let one get away several months ago, does any of that matter once, say, the second series kicks off?
Absolutely not. None of that matters. You already know it. None of that matters because, that's bulletin board talk, that's hype talk, that's all this other stuff that really doesn't matter because when you step between the lines on the field, that's when it really matters. And it's about tackling, catching, making blocks, making tackles, and that's the most important thing. Talk is cheap, and about that second series, it's going to be like, okay, who's a better team? Let's go.
Leonard Fournette was on the report all week, didn't practice, or they gave it a go earlier today. Still unsure, inactives come out an hour and a half before game time. If he can't go, next guy up, and it might maybe spread some things out on offense a little bit, right? That's kind of the feeling.
It could. I mean, that is probably accurate, with Leonard being so huge a part of our offense. But then you, like you said, you got some guys that can step up and make plays. Now, Corey Grant may get a little bit more. TJ can show what he can do, bring Brandon Wiles along. And then you got the receiving core. Hopefully we can get some passing game going. They play a lot of man. Hopefully we can, do some things in the passing game with all this man that they're playing and, get some guys running wide open down the field.
Apparently, all you need to do to slow down Gronk is throw a cornerback on him. Some people feel.
One of those people wearing number 20.
As speaking with your experience as a longtime tight end in this league, what makes Gronk as good as he is?
I think his sheer determination to be great. To me, that stands out first and foremost. And then you look at the guy, he's got deceptive speed. You think a guy that big, he doesn't look like he's doing anything.
He's quick.
That robotic
size.
arm and everything. I'm like, this dude, he can really move. And so he can get open. And even if it's corner or safety or linebacker, he's going to find a way to get open. And when you got a guy like 12 throwing it to you, you don't have to be open very long. He's going to find you.
Who was when you were playing tight end in the league, who talked the most to you on the other side? Was there a defender in the league that you just kind of got in your ear or bothered you?
And he played for the team we're playing against today, Rodney Harrison.
Oh,
trash talker, but he's a great guy. I didn't find that out until much later, but just how he got himself going was to find somebody he was just going to talk trash to and just go out and ball. He needed that to get going. Some other guys don't, but Rodney was one of those kind of guys that he needed to talk trash to play ball, but after playing ball outside of the grass, great guy.
And he always picked 81 in the Colts for some reason. Why you?
I don't know. Maybe I was better looking than him. He couldn't take that.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, come on. Did you give it back to him though, or what was your reaction?
That wasn't my deal. I just went out and balled. I talked a little bit. I just couldn't. I didn't like guys that talked a lot. Just shut up and play. That was my motto. Just because it doesn't matter. If you need that to get yourself going, I'm not going to feed into that to give you more to get you going when it's going to bring me down. I need to focus on what I'm doing. You talk trash, that's you. I'm about to beat you anyway.
Ask A.J. Green, though. Everybody has their breaking point.
Yeah, absolutely. Great guy. Eventually you keep talking to me, it's going to erupt. So if I don't talk, I can stay in my space and be successful.
High school coach and player of the week. Who you got this week?
The CXX High School Player of the Week is Patrick Bryant, a sophomore from Atlantic Coast. Patrick is a two-way football player. He had a 30-yard interception for a TD, a 52-yard grab for a tug. This is a great kid, has 3.5 GPA. He's a hard worker. And the favorite thing I heard about this kid, he works when nobody's looking. And to me, that's one of my favorite mottos. What are you doing when nobody's watching you? And so good luck to Patrick the rest of the way. Our Whataburger High School Coach of the Week, week 2, is Kyle Skipper from Mendez High School down in St. Augustine. His philosophy is doing everything you can do to the best of your ability. His goal is to have his team win his school's first district title in school's history. He's always on his players about doing everything he can do to get better. And what a great coach. Good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
From what I understand, they're playing pretty good ball.
Playing pretty good ball. Really good ball right now.
Down in St. Augustine. Hey, enjoy it today.
Thank you. And that Coach of the Week will get a $1,500 check.
Yes.
Yes, to be used for his school in any way. Awesome.
Thanks.
And they'll go in a pool for Coach of the Year at the end.
Yeah, at the end, a $3,000 check for Coach of the Year. But you have to be a Coach of the Week to get Coach of the Year, and this is an opportunity to get another $3,000 for you.
What else would you like to discuss today, Marcus?
Whatever,
the floor
bro.
is yours.
Hey, man, whatever you want to talk about. Let's just win a football game.
That would be nice.
We're all on board with that.
Marcus Pollard.
Holding it down.
Indeed. Each and every week here on this program, the Publix Tailgate Show. PRI Productions, the Southeast full-service event company, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com and learn more. The New England Patriots always have some off-season headlines, it seems, but they always seem to bring it back once football comes around. The voice of the Patriots, Bob Socci, tells us how it all comes together year after year. I feel like this is becoming a little bit of a habit, the Jaguars and the Patriots meeting again here, Bob.
Yeah, JP, these teams have been intertwined through the years. They've had a lot of postseason matchups, considering that they're not what you would consider conference rivals. They're longtime conference rivals playing in the same division. But they've got a history, of course, in the postseason, including last year's really terrific AFC Championship game. And they played in last year's postseason. So we've had a chance now to talk, 3 times since August of 2017?
Yeah, that's about right, and that's a lot of meetings. And this is the field down here. At least is one of the biggest regular season games in franchise history for the Jaguars. Considering what happened in January, it's the home opener in a very important season. But this is something the Patriots are used to going into, a hornet's nest like this. They've seen the up and coming team in their home stadium, and they've been able to handle this type of experience before. For the Jags, it might be relatively new, but the Patriots, this is kind of old hat. It seems like.
It is, but by no means does that, I think, indicate a big advantage or any advantage, frankly, going into this game. I think back to the matchup of the Patriots and the Chiefs in 2014. The Pats were struggling in a couple of different areas, including their offensive line, a position group that they're, I think, much far better right now in comparison to 14. But there were a lot of issues with that team, especially at wide receiver, and they were trying to solve some things in the first month of the season. And they got hammered by the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was a night on which the Chiefs crowd at Arrowhead Stadium allegedly set a record for being the loudest crowd at an outdoor venue in North America, at least a sporting event. And the Patriots had a lot of trouble trying to protect Tom Brady, and because of the disconnect between Brady and some of the receivers, it was a long night in every way, and that game got away from them in a hurry. Now you look at Jacksonville and that defensive line especially, but the speed and the athleticism of the defense, the ability to cover, the ability to get to the quarterback playing at home with a late afternoon start, the crowd's going to be fired up. The players, of course, with last year's championship game fresh in their memories, very much the same team as a year ago. I would imagine they're going to look to get off, literally and figuratively, against the Patriots. And it's going to be a tall order for New England going in there, especially, as I mentioned, with some limitations. This is a team that doesn't have Julian Edelman. Danny Amendola has moved on to Miami, as you know. They got a good game from Philip Dorsett last week, but there are still questions regarding a relatively thin receiver group. And with Rob Gronkowski being a main factor and a primary weapon for the Pats, I think Jacksonville is one of the few teams around the league that's equipped to even slow him down. In particular, if we see the matchup that some are anticipating of Jalen Ramsey, that big cornerback, trying to back up some of his bravado of late, going up against Gronk. With Ramsey, that's his style, and he has the ability to back up what he says. And Calais Campbell told the media here that they've got his back in essence, and what Marone basically said too in his conference call with Patriots media members was that it is what it is. Every man has to stand up for what he says. And, again, Ramsey is one of those rare talents in this league who has that ability, it seems.
Bob Socci with us, voice of the New England Patriots. There always seems to be off-season rumblings in New England. You've grown accustomed to that, the owner and the quarterback, the head coach and the quarterback, athletic trainers, are they allowed or not, everything going on. But they always seem to circle the wagons and show up as the New England Patriots again once the regular season comes around. How do they focus so well and get things going back for opening day?
I think it comes down to really a reality, and that is the most important thing on the football field when Tom Brady suits up and when Bill Belichick goes out there to coach is winning to each of them. And the next most important thing when it comes to their professional careers is preparing their best to produce a win every week. And I think, whatever drama and intrigue existed, and it will continue to exist here. Certainly it's under the surface, and I think many in the media here, frankly, especially in the sports talk circles, are waiting for it to bubble over if the Patriots have any problems in Jacksonville or hiccups thereafter. Nonetheless, despite all of that, when it comes to compartmentalizing, and I think Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and the Patriots have proven they do it as well as, if not better than anybody else in Major League Sports. And I think the other thing, too, JP, is that looking at other dynasties in the NFL, Terry Bradshaw and Chuck Noll had a terrible relationship personally. Bill Walsh and Joe Montana, of course, did wonders in San Francisco. And yet, from what I've read and heard, Montana didn't necessarily have the utmost respect personally for Bill Walsh. Roger Staubach, Tom Landry, not the best of friends. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, I don't even think go to that level. I think these are guys that have great respect for one another. I think when Bill says that there's no other quarterback I'd rather have, I truly believe he means it. Same thing with Tom Brady. I think he's totally genuine when he says there's no other coach that I want to play for than Bill Belichick. And again, they're not socializing, but Bill doesn't really do that with any of his players. And there may have been some differences last year that certainly were reported on, in particular when it came to Tom Brady's personal trainer, Alex Guerrero, and access to other players and to the team facilities. Some of that, frankly, was, I think, mischaracterized. It's just that Guerrero didn't travel with the team late in there being the primary thing. But nonetheless, I think when it comes down to it, these guys are going to go out there on Sunday against the Jaguars, and whether they win or lose, nonetheless, they're going to be of a single mindset each, and that mindset is going to be exactly the same.
Bob Socci, the voice of the New England Patriots. The machine continues in New England year after year after year. Different players, same result a lot of years.
Same quarterback, same head coach, right? Coordinators come and go, although they did work to maintain Josh McDaniels' working relationship up there. They went the extra mile this offseason. Matt Patricia left. Didn't seem to do so well out of the zone in week one. It just goes to show you everybody looks better when they're associated with the Belichick-Brady combination. And then sometimes they go and you realize how much that duo elevated everybody around him.
Jaguars looking for their first win over Tom Brady. They're 0-8, regular season and postseason combined. They can slay the dragon maybe today in week 2. We'll come back for the second hour of the Publix Tailgate Show. Top headlines. And defensive tackle Marcel Darius. He knows from experience how to bother Tom Brady. Playing in that division for a number of years in Buffalo. He gives us the insight coming up. Patriots Jaguars at 4:25. And from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, this is Jaguars Radio.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here for the best barbecue in town. That is Bono's. Head to Bono's today. 15 locations on the First Coast and 6 more at TIAA Bank Field. You see, Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You want great barbecue, you want Bono's. Plenty of parking, clean family restaurants, and oh, by the way, the best barbecue you have ever had. So if you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today, the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, we got a brand new wheat sub here. 1 grain bread. Do I hear any takers? 1 grain bread. All right, what about 2 grain bread? Let me get a taker for 2 grain. What about you, Jimmy John's? It's a firm head shake. No from Jimmy John's. How about 3 grain sub bread? 3 is not enough. How about 4 grain? Who wouldn't want 4 grains? Jimmy John's still a no. Let's go 5, 6, 7, 8. Want to make it rain? 8 grain. Jimmy John's still a no. All right, what about 9 grain wheat bread?
Wheat, yeah, we'll take it.
That's Jimmy John's new 9 grain wheat subs. Going once, going twice. So
try our new 9 grain wheat sub. Jimmy John's wheat, yeah, freak yeah.
The First Coast will see green when the Jacksonville Jaguars take the field this season thanks to SunPass. For every regular season first down recorded by the Jaguars in 2018, SunPass will make a donation toward the planting of new trees in Jacksonville. A run by Leonard Fournette, a pass from Blake Bortles, every first down turns over a new leaf right here in Northeast Florida. Visit Jaguars.com/trees to learn more about First Downs for Trees presented by SunPass. Get ready to go green, Jags fans. #JagsPlantTrees.
Wow, our Jags are hot. Time to treat yourself to the cool, creamy deliciousness of a Yobi frozen yogurt. All Yobi low-fat or fat-free frozen yogurts are made with real milk, no artificial flavors, and some are as little as 25 calories per ounce. So it's easy to be game day ready. Plus, all Yobi's great toppings and fresh-cut fruit are included. Fans, stay up on all the latest offers and tasty new flavors added every month with the Yobi app. Visit myyobi.com for details and find a location near you. Yobi is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Massage Envy announces their newest game changer, professionally assisted stretch. Increase mobility, flexibility, and blood flow. Add stretch to relaxing therapeutic massage sessions and you're game ready. Visit any of the 7 Jacksonville area Massage Envy locations in Bartram Park, Fleming Island, Harbor Village, Jacks Beach, Oakleaf, Ortega, and Southside. Text stretch to 82257 to receive a free 30-minute professionally assisted stretch offer when you purchase any massage session. Text the word stretch to 82257.
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to tap into their inner eagle and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So fly over the radar. Cannonball! Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
The Publix Tailgate Show continues right now.
Second hour of the Publix Tailgate Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the HananiahAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field. 4:25, the kickoff time for the Patriots and the Jaguars. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. And here we go. Hot Jacksonville day in September. The rematch of the AFC Championship game and all that. But it's week 2.
Yeah.
And a chance to go 2-0.
That's a great opportunity. Look, you don't know what's going to happen, but Tennessee playing Houston today, so one of those teams is going to fall to 0-2. The other one's going to be 1-1. The Colts are up early, but a chance to continue to, just establish yourself as one of the better teams in the AFC early in the season. If nothing else, forget the rematch aspect of it, JP. This is a measuring stick game for the Jags. They can kind of announce themselves to the rest of the National Football League if they win this game, regardless of what happened back in January, that they may be one of the teams to beat, if not the team to beat in the AFC.
Let's get to today's top stories, and none bigger than the status of Leonard Fournette. Jeff Darlington of ESPN tweeting just a moment ago, 3 minutes ago, in fact, that Leonard Fournette will not play in today's game per a source, and that Yeldon and Grant will get the workload. So, if the inactives officially come out in 30 minutes, if Fournette is not available, then there you go. A lot of TJ Yeldon, maybe mixing some Corey Grant. Brandon Wiles off the practice squad today to join those other two.
Yeah, I think Brandon Wiles would be a break glass in case of emergency type option for them, and I wouldn't expect him to get many touches in this football game, barring an injury to one of the frontline guys. So I think TJ Yeldon has the lion's share of the backfield, and Grant is going to play a role, but TJ Yeldon's a better pass protector, so it's not like Corey Grant's going to take over as the third down back like TJ Yeldon sometimes serves as for Leonard Fournette. I think you will see some combinations of both of them on the field. I would expect that today. You got to give the Patriots some different looks, and just for the decoy factor, they know what Corey Grant was able to do to them in the first half of that game, and anytime he's on the field, I've got to believe the Jags have some looks that hopefully the defense focuses on Corey Grant. I'm sure they have opportunities to get him the ball as well.
Jaguars trying not to look back to January's game in Foxborough. Head coach Doug Marrone is keeping the focus forward and questions whether it's human nature at all to look back.
I don't know. Is it? I don't know if it is human nature. Is it? I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I think our guys are worried about what we have to do today. Hey, listen, it's a different thing. We got a plan. I'm worried about, in about another half hour or so, we're going to be on that field. I want to make sure that we're focused and practicing well because we have things to clean up, same from the last game. So, our focus right now is not to the game on Sunday. Our focus is on what we have to do now to prepare ourselves because, during the week, we're just focusing on where we are at that time.
So that's the internal view of this thing. Outside of this building, though, all week, it's been get back for what happened in January. If you ask anybody in this fan base.
This week?
Yeah.
You mean since January?
7 months, I
right.
guess.
This is as long as it's been since that game is what the focus has been, JP. Certainly since the schedule came out, Jaguar fans have circled this one. And look, it doesn't help you play better today, but I think it makes victory sweeter. If you're able to accomplish it, it doesn't make up for the fact that you missed out an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. But nonetheless, I think this one means a little something extra to the players.
Pass rush big today for the Jaguars defense against Tom Brady. Dante Fowler Jr. returns to the roster this week after his one-game suspension. 2 sacks in that AFC Championship game against the Patriots in January for Fowler.
I honestly think that was my come-out game. You know, me putting it all together. You guys just seeing how I was as a player. Going towards the end of the year. I think that was my come-out game, so I actually expect myself to go out there and be that same consistent player, start where I left off.
Earlier today, I don't know if you're an Instagram guy or not, but Dante had a photo of, I think, a T-Rex or a Velociraptor coming out of a hole chasing. So he's ready. The guy's been off to the side watching it on TV, and this defense did pretty good last week without him, by the way.
They did, but I do think Dante is potentially the key factor in this game defensively for the Jaguars because he did have success. He's got to be champing at the bit, right? He hasn't been able to play football at all so far this season. Had to watch his teammates go up there to New York and knock off the Giants in Week 1. So that and the fact that Calais Campbell shows up questionable on the injury report, even if Calais is going to play, maybe that limits his reps to some degree or his effectiveness. I think Dante's a big factor in this game, chasing down plays as well, because I think that short passing game is really where the Patriots running game is probably going to come from. I think you're going to see a lot of dump-offs of James White.
Jaguars' offensive line last week responsible for some key penalties against the Giants. One took away a touchdown. And for offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, the O-line has some room to improve here in Week 2.
I thought they did some good things. I think we left a lot of yards out there. I think, for us as an offense, it's about us. It's about us executing. I think if they know what they're doing, we always talk about hearing the call, knowing the call, doing your job. And I think if they just focus on that, if they know where to go and what to do, they're pretty good. And I think that there were a couple things, whether it was the crowd noise, whether it was kind of the situation. I think that just everybody got a little bit on edge, and that's going to happen in the first game on the road. Things like that. I mean, you just have to kind of adjust to and get used to. And I think I'm glad we got it out of the way then.
There was a hands to the face penalty, took away a touchdown, a couple of false starts, and unnecessary roughness from Cam Robinson, which he was fined for this week. So it's early, and this offensive line, that was their first game together. They didn't play in the preseason, all 5 together, and we'll see. I don't think there's any concern here for this group moving ahead.
Too early for that. No, yeah. But look, a guy like Andrew Norwell, I think they believe they got the player that they paid, right? When they think he's a Pro Bowl caliber player. He didn't have a great start to the game. Gave up a sack when reportedly he didn't give up a single quarterback hit last year, and then he's the one who was guilty of the hands to the face, which wiped out a touchdown, cost him 4 points eventually. Now, hands to the face will happen sometimes. Guys are blocking, their hands slide up. But I look for a bounce-back performance from Andrew Norwell as well. I mean, this is a very capable offensive line. We haven't seen them play together much, but I think if they're firing on all cylinders, it's going to be a big factor because the Jags are going to want to run the ball today. And I thought they did a good job for the most part protecting Blake Bortles last week as well. That's one aspect of this matchup we haven't really discussed a whole lot this week. Can they hold off Trey Flowers and Adrian Claiborne in that pass rush and keep Blake Bortles clean when the Jags do drop back to pass?
Big question today. And, hey, defensively for this Jaguars team, we've heard about cornerback Jalen Ramsey all week long in his comments about Rob Gronkowski, but he had a couple of gems in his weekly press conference this week. On Thursday, Jalen Ramsey speaks with the media here at TIAA Bank Field. We heard what he had to say about Gronk again this week, but he was also asked about relationships on the other side of the field.
When you play the game of football, I feel like to respect the game, you have to play it fierce. You got to play it. I don't believe in having friends on the field. Like, I mean, my brother, my dad, my mom, grandma was out there, like, it's on. Like, after the game, we can be cool. It doesn't matter. That's how I feel like you got to respect the game of football. Football is not a game meant to be played, being nice to each other and all that, like kumbaya. But after the game's over with, that's cool.
You wouldn't really hit your grandma.
No, I definitely would. She know that. My grandma know that. I love you, but she know that.
Would she hit you back?
Would she hit me back? grandma might not get up from one of my legs.
Jalen Ramsey with a classic this week, and that's him, man. I mean, he's going to compete against whoever's on the other side.
That's just fun, right? I mean, look, I think people do in today's day and age. Some look at players hugging it out after games and wonder, do they care as much? And Jalen's saying, look, we can compartmentalize this for 3 hours. You're my mortal enemy, and afterwards we can be cool. It's all good, but I don't care who you are. When you step on that field, I'm going to take it to you.
This portion of the Publix Tailgate Show is brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers. We'll return with Lamb at Large. David Lamb is in studio. We'll hear from Marcel Darius as well, Dr. Kevin Kaplan. And a little later, Mike Dempsey's visit with second-year receiver Keelan Cole. The Patriots and the Jags kick it off at 4:25. And from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, this is Jaguars Radio.
Every 51 minutes, someone dies in a drunk driving crash. If you think it can't happen to you or that your actions won't affect others, think again. I got behind the wheel drunk and caused a crash that took the lives of 2 young women. Before you drink, have a plan and know all your options. One bad decision can last forever. Take it from me, Eric, prison inmate P22679.
This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
The CSI Companies has been getting the people business right for more than 20 years in Jacksonville. CSI proudly opened their doors just as the Jaguars came to town, and they've been valuable business partners for some of Jacksonville's largest companies. Do you have a need for temporary help during a busy time period? Looking for a team of IT consultants for a special project? CSI can help. Call them at 800-582-0828 or go to thecsicompanies.com. Don't partner with just anyone. Partner with the CSI Companies, proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Josh Lambo of the Jacksonville Jaguars alongside my dogs Lana and Wyatt. It's hard saying goodbye to these two on game day, but that all changed this year with the NFL's first ever in-stadium dog park thanks to our partnership with Pet Paradise. Are you ready to bring your furry friend to the stadium? Enter the Pet Paradise Top Dog Sweepstakes. Each week, 10 lucky winners will receive 2 game tickets, a parking pass, and the chance to bring your dog to Pet Paradise Park at TIAA Bank Field. Visit jaguars.com/petparadise and enter today.
At Papa John's, we like to say, better sausage, better beef, better bacon, better julienne-cut Canadian bacon, better pepperoni. Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium meats pizza made with 5 premium meats free of artificial flavors or fillers. Or our new barbecue meats pizza made with smoky Southern-style barbecue sauce for only $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And that means treating people better with friendly, personal service that's kept our members happy since 1952. A smile and personal greeting when you enter the branch. An online or phone chat for those quick questions, and a call center that's open every day. If you believe that great service is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Grab your passport. Virgin Atlantic wants to send you and a friend across the pond to watch the Jaguars take on the Eagles in London this season. Visit jaguars.com/Virgin Atlantic to enter the Touchdown in London sweepstakes. You could win a round-trip flight on Virgin Atlantic, a 3-night hotel stay, 2 tickets, and sideline passes to the game. Don't miss out as the Jags take on the defending Super Bowl champions at Wembley Stadium. Visit jaguars.com/Virgin Atlantic. Keep calm and fly on, Jags fans.
JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the HannanyAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field. The Pats and the Jags at 4:25. Jaguars Radio Network coverage at 3:30 today with countdown to kickoff, including a live visit with Jaguars owner Shad Khan. We'll take you all the way up to the opening kick as always. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform. As is the guru, David Lamb. Here he is in studio with Lamb at Large.
Oh, what a big day. I mean, this is a big day with a capital B, a capital I, and a capital G. This could be the day that the people of Jacksonville get over their NFL inferiority complex, and maybe even Jaguar fans get over their inferiority complex when it comes to the Patriots, for example. You know, from the moment Jacksonville began its quest for an NFL franchise, we're going back to 1979. I was right there. Jacksonville was made a laughing stock. Podunkville, Hicksville, what do they think? How could they possibly think they're going to be in the NFL? Jacksonville would host one owner after another, flirt with them. They would use this as a leverage to get a stadium in their own place, and the jokes continued. Even in 1993, when Jacksonville was awarded a franchise, it was still laughed at and made a joke. What is Jacksonville doing with a franchise? This is crazy. And as all of us know here, you know, for the first 15, 16 years, all we heard was, well, Jacksonville's moving to L.A., Jacksonville moving to London. Jacksonville was always on the move. And, you know, of course, we haven't. So what we've come to now is this is one of the biggest regular season games in Jacksonville history against the team, the marquee team in the NFL. You know, it's going to be a packed stadium, loud. It's just going to show Jacksonville as a great NFL city. And I can't help but go back to last week when I think about this, because, you know, it was always, well, L.A.'s going to get the team. Well, last week I watched the Chargers, now in L.A., have their home opener at home against the Chiefs. They play in a small stadium until their big stadium is ready. It seats 27,000. They announced 25,000. If there were 15,000 people in that stadium, you know, I'll kiss a goat. And by the way, most of the ones that were there, maybe 15,000, were a lot of them anyway, were Kansas City Chiefs fans. You could tell by the red garb they were wearing. So maybe today's game will finally get the people of Jacksonville to recognize, hey, we are a wonderful NFL city. We've supported this franchise through thick and thin, and here we are now with a chance to show the nation. This game will be televised in a good majority of the country, so it's the 425. It's one of the featured games. I just think it's a great day for Jacksonville, just feeling better about themselves and saying, hey, we belong in the NFL. Look what we could produce, and look at that mess they've got in L.A. You know, everybody I talked to from L.A. over the years, I didn't talk to one person that wanted an NFL team. They love the fact that they got all the games every week on TV. They got all the marquee games. Well, they're showing it now with their total disgust of the Chargers. And by the way, the Rams, they haven't exactly fallen head over heels in love with the Rams. As far as the Jaguar fans, you know, I wonder how many Jaguar fans, all of them think the Jaguars are going to beat the Patriots today. I wonder how many of them really believe it. I wonder how many of us really believe it. I picked the Jaguars to win today, and I've got to admit there's that little twinge of doubt because, well, you know, they're 0-8 against Brady and Belichick. Can they possibly beat the Patriots? Well, the truth of the matter is, except for Brady, Jacksonville's a better football team than the Patriots. I thought they were a better football team in January. Listen, they got screwed by the official. Now, it happens. It's part of the game. Get over it. But anybody, I don't care who you're pulling for, if you watch the tape, they got screwed. That's just simply a fact. And I thought they were a better team last year. They got screwed on that play, and I thought they did some strategic things very bad near the end of the game. But when I look at these two rosters, I'm sitting there going, well, I would take this Jaguar over that Patriot and this one. And, I just think it's a much better roster. I realize it's a quarterback's league, and Brady's the best of all time. But I truly think the Jaguars will win today because they're a better football team. I think this inferiority complex of thinking we don't belong in the NFL, this may be the day we get over that. And the fact that whether the Jaguars can play with the Patriots, I think we get over that. So I think it's a big, with a capital B, a capital I, and a capital G, day right here in River City.
Do you feel inferior?
I never felt inferior.
Then why would you expect that any Jaguar fan feels inferior to anybody? I don't think there's any inferiority complex with Jaguar fans at all.
Well, I disagree. I think when it comes to the Patriots, there is. I think they say, I think the Jaguars are going to win. And, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, yeah, I think, but probably not. That's the sense I've gotten.
I don't know what the whole L.A. thing has to do with any of this conversation. I mean, it was never people in Jacksonville saying they're going to L.A. It was a bunch of national media guys that didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying but all they ever heard was you're going to move to L.A. and then you're going to move to London.
And did you think that was true?
I never thought it was true.
Then why do you assume that the typical Jaguar fan assumes that's true?
Because I've been in this city for 41 years, and I talked to the people over the years from the very beginning, and most of them didn't think we would get a team, And when we finally got a team, I think most of them were scared to death we would lose a team. They didn't think Jacksonville measured up.
All right, I talk to them every day, 5 days a week, and I don't sense any inferiority complex.
Well, I think you probably talk to more of the fanatical fans, and I listen to the show, and it's a great show. But those are fanatical Jaguar fans. I'm just saying in general, I don't think the people expected us to ever get a city, and I think there's still a sense, do we belong? And I think this is the type of game that established the fact, yes, we do. And by the way, the city that everybody kept saying we were going to move to, the national media, well, look at the mess they've got out there.
So you think if the Jags lose today, the fans are going to think they don't belong in the NFL?
No, I don't think that, but I think the whole concept today of the huge crowd, the big game, the importance of it, all the exposure they're getting, I think that has gone a long way to Jacksonville establishing. You know, one reason Jacksonville got a team when it did, the late Pete Rozelle, commissioner, one of the things he told me, number one, population wasn't as important as eyeballs on the NFL, and Jacksonville back in those days had more eyeballs than Baltimore or St. Louis, according to the late Pete Rozelle. That's one reason they got it. The other reason is you've got a southern Sunbelt city that is beginning to boom. And keep in mind, Jacksonville is probably 35% bigger than it was in 1993. So it has boomed, and it has grown into being a great NFL city. We know that. I still don't know whether they know that around the country, but I think people around the country who see this game today will go, hey, that's a big-time atmosphere. That's a big-time situation.
You kiss a goat today, Giselle might be upset with you going after Tom Brady, okay? Just be careful with that, Dave.
Well, I didn't mean that kind of goat.
Okay.
I meant the kind that eats trash cans, will eat anything. I meant the kind that'll kiss Mike Dempsey. I think it's a great day. It's a great day in Jacksonville.
Enjoy it. There's David Lamb with Lamb at Large. Each week we visit with Jaguars head team physician Kevin Kaplan from Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Here we go with a home opener. Finally, TIAA Bank Field is open.
That's it. We're 1-0 like you asked for last week, right?
So thank you. You brought the plane back mostly healthy. And you got the W,
That's
the most
right.
important part, and a lot of football left ahead here. Let's talk about feet injury. And, you know, obviously everybody on the football field's on their feet. Running back, foot injury, that's a big deal. A few years ago, Maurice Jones-Drew had some foot issues here, and it's hard to get back on the field. And there's so many things that can go wrong in the foot. It's such a complex body part.
You're absolutely right. And when you look around the league right now, there are a lot of guys that are struggling with foot injuries. It's not the easiest injury to come back from. You know, a shoulder, you can treat it, and you're not walking on it all day long. You see a lot of guys come out of the game, we'll put them in boots and try to limit their weight bearing to try to let things heal. But, you know, you can have anything from, like Greg Olsen has, a re-fracture. It sounds like he re-broke his foot. Obviously, I don't know the details there. And you have Joey Bosa, it seems to have some sort of bone bruise. And you know, when I hear that, it makes me think that maybe there's some subtle instability going on in one of his joints in his foot, and that's a major issue. That can be a big problem as you work your way through the season.
And that's the problem too. That you want to get back on the field, but you got to just rest, right? You got to walk around, run around.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna irritate it again.
Yeah, you think about how much torque these guys put through their foot when they push off. It's not like they're just gingerly kind of running around in a kind of a graceful circle. I mean, they're planting, they're cutting, they're pivoting, and those bones, and that's why shoe wear has become a big focus for our NFL Physicians Society, because we know certain cleats may give a little more, and you know, these guys want to have the lightest cleat possible because it helps. They think it helps them, you know, move quicker, but in reality, we want some support there because the amount of torque, the amount of force, the amount of pressure that goes through the foot is tremendous, and that can lead to significant injuries. But over the years, with better shoe wear, we have scanners in all the locker rooms now to get orthotics fit. We've seen a decrease in the number of foot injuries since years past.
So how many bones are in the foot?
Well, actually, there are 26 bones in the foot and a total number of about 33 or so joints in the foot. But then you have all the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons that run across. So a small area, but a very complex area.
And it's like we said, it's tough to get right. Once you get it wrong, you just got to rest it and get back on track here.
Yeah, and you hope some of these injuries, you know, obviously when you break a bone in a foot, you know, that's something that can lead to surgery. But a lot of the sprains and the strains, whether it's a ligament or a tendon, you can try to rest and rehab and hopefully get them back before the end of the year.
Well, my foot's feeling good. Thanks for asking, by the way.
Well, we are always worried. We see you limping around here. We start to worry. We put you on IR immediately, try to get you back before the end of the year. So.
I appreciate the boot, too. It's been helpful.
Always.
Good to see you, Doc.
Absolutely. Let's hope we have a good game.
Dr. Kevin Kaplan, Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the head team physician for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's get into the defensive line, shall we, Michael?
Yes.
Big part of this game today, pressure on Tom Brady. A lot of that starts from the middle, and if you can get around his feet, that's when you can get Tom flustered.
They say quarterbacks hate pressure up the middle more than any other kind of pressure, right? I mean, it's immediate. You can't step into your throws. And Marcel Darius, Malik Jackson, they have quite the capability to wreck a game from inside there on the defensive line. But I still think Unique Ngakoue, Dante Fowler, Calais Campbell going to play a big role in this. If you can get pressure on Brady with your front four without having to blitz, that's the key.
Marcel Darius in the locker room late this week.
Everybody outside of this building is talking about that January game. You guys inside the building, you know what that's about. But it's in the past. You can't change all that. Week 2, a chance to go 2-0 for a football team here in Jacksonville this season. You guys feels pretty darn good.
I mean, yeah, it feels pretty good. Anytime you come off a win, it feels pretty good, regardless of who the next team is. But at the same time, this team happened to be the Patriots, and you have to be well prepared and ready to go and focus and for everything they have. So just excited about the opportunity.
You know that better than most. You were in the division with them for most of your career. What is it about their preparation, their personnel, their coaching that makes them so tough week after week after week? It seems like they can just plug guys in for their program. Is that how it looks?
Really, they have a plan and they stay with it. They're making plays off of your mistakes and making plays off of little things that you don't even know that you're doing or making. So it's just like your natural habits, they're capitalizing on those, and they know how they're playing, and they're sticking to their game plan. And eventually things open up because people make mistakes, people get hurt, people get tired. Different situations they take full advantage of, so you have to be aware.
Going against Tom Brady for so long, what bothers him? When do you know you get to him? How do you know you can you fluster him, I guess is the question, Marcel, you know?
I mean, like any and every quarterback, you got to stand by his feet. Of course, stand by his feet sounds a little funny, but it's like literally after every rush or so or run play, just finish around him. Like, you know, don't hit him, just finish around him. So your presence is there. So it's like, all right, O-lineman in front of him, finishing up the middle of, coming through the middle of the offensive line. Yeah. If that starts to happen too often, like O-line can't stop them, they change, they send a running back, or they may change this or change that. And the other, if it doesn't work, so you just get flustered, and then we got to figure this out.
What about your game so far early in this season? I mean, it looks like you dropped some weight, right? Are you feeling good? You were on the report some during training camp, but where are you now physically, Marcel?
Mentally, I'm in a good place, and from that standpoint, that's all I can really go off. Everything else doesn't even matter. My mind is sharp. I'm feeling good. Everything else I can endure to the end of the season, then I can talk about it.
All mental, not physical for you, huh?
It is 80% mental, 20% physical. 80% mental, 20% physical.
Marcel Darius, Jaguars defensive tackle. Always fun conversation with Marcel, and a big piece of this Jaguars defense certainly today against the Patriots. We'll return Mike Dempsey's visit with Jags receiver Keelan Cole. He had a handful of catches last week, a deep one as well.
Yeah, counting on him to do a lot more going forward.
Pats Jaguars. It'd be nice to have some of that today against this Patriots team. 4:25 the kickoff time, and from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, this is Jaguars Radio.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. When I got into this business, I used to make flavored vodka infusions for my friends as gifts. When I started to make a go of it, the owner of a local liquor store showed me the dust on some flavored vodka bottles that sat on the shelves. He said, if you can make a straight vodka so smooth that you could drink it just by itself, then you'd really have something. So I did. And now all these years later, we still only make one flavor, vodka flavored vodka. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Attention Jags fans, this is your chance for you and 3 of your friends to fly to Houston to see the Jaguars take on the Houston Texans December 30th. All you have to do is download the free Money Pages app today, and you can enter to win airfare, hotel stay, and tickets to the big game, all covered. The savings don't stop there. When you download the free Money Pages mobile app, you'll unlock great local savings on the go. So it's simple. Pick up your phone, go to the App Store, and search for the free Money Pages app. Good luck, and go Jaguars!
Only in Jacksonville can you tour a state-of-the-art hospitality show home before a game. Hi, this is Lauren Brooks. Make it a point to visit the Dreamfinders Home's newest stadium home before any home Jaguars game. Take a free tour and register for a chance to win amazing grand prizes. Dreamfinders Homes will select one winner per home game. Only at Dreamfinders Homes Stadium Home 2.0 by Gate 4 at TIAA Bank Field. Dreamfinders Homes, homes built to fit your lifestyle.
Jaguars fans, Ashley Home Store is where you'll find the perfect Tempur-Pedic mattress to power your life. As the #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer in America and the official furniture and mattress store of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Ashley Home Store offers Jaguars fans special pricing and 72 months no-interest financing. Just tell them the Jaguars sent you. Plus, a portion of every mattress sold helps provide free beds to local children in need. Shop for Tempur-Pedic at Ashley Home Store today and go Jaguars. Subject to credit approval. See store for details.
Does your small business internet provider promise a lot? Let's hear who really delivers. Comcast Business offers gig speed in more places and lets calls from any of your devices appear to come from your business number. Other providers don't. Call 1-800-501-6000 to get 75 megabit internet from Comcast Business for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you get 2 voice mobility lines. Offer ends 9/21/18. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. 2-year term required. Early termination fee applies. Require subscription in 2 Comcast Business voice mobility lines and additional regular monthly rates. Equipment tax and fees extra and subject to change. Call for details.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
We're back. The Publix Tailgate Show continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey at the HananiahAutos.com studio at TIAA Bank Field. Week 2. The New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars with a 4:25 kickoff time today. A game presented by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform. The inactives have been announced by the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots.
They have.
An hour and a half before game time. First on the list for the Jaguars today, Leonard Fournette. He is inactive for this game today. He will not play. So T.J. Yeldon will make the start at running back for the Jags. Leon Jacobs, linebacker, inactive in this game. And then we go to the defensive and offensive lines. Eli Ankou on the defensive line, Dwan Smoot as well, both inactive. And on the offensive line, Chris Reed, Josh Walker, and Will Richardson Jr. The other lineup change on defense, DJ Hayden will start at nickel cornerback in lieu of the strong side linebacker, Leon Jacobs being inactive for this game, so Hayden makes the start there today. So Yeldon in for Fournette, DJ Hayden in the starting lineup today on defense.
Yeah, probably play a lot of nickel, you would imagine, the way the Patriots will likely spread them out today. Here's who will not be playing for New England. Brian Schwenke, the offensive lineman, is inactive, as are a pair of cornerbacks, J.C. Jackson and Keon Crossan. Marcus Cannon, another offensive lineman, will not be suiting up today. Corey Coleman, they picked him up this week. He's bounced around already this offseason between Cleveland and Buffalo. The wide receiver not making it to the active roster today. And defensive end Derek Rivers and running back Kenyon Barner also not suiting up for the Pats.
All right, there you have it. The inactives are in. An active player for the Jaguars today is Keelan Cole, wide receiver. Handful of catches last week. We didn't see him a lot in the preseason, but they didn't open the whole playbook, of course. And we know what he did last year in his rookie campaign, undrafted player coming in and making an impact on this offense. And he's always interesting to talk to because the way he came up, the school he came from, how unheralded he was coming into the league, and all of a sudden to step out like he did and be part of this offense a season ago, you get that feeling this is going to continue with him. He's got the work ethic, he's got the speed and the height to perform here.
Look, everyone you talk to with the organization, that was the top guy they named. They thought big second year for Keelan Cole. Took him about a half a year to get rolling, but what he did, it was a big factor in the Jaguars' passing game, and we expect that to be the same going forward.
Keelan Cole this week with Mike Dempsey.
Brought to you by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. We've got Jaguars wide receiver Keelan Cole with us. Keelan, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
We're fantastic. You're 1-0. It's always nice to get that opener out of the way. Good road victory. It's got to feel pretty good.
It feels good. We just ready for the next game. That game's in the past. We got the W, and we're going to keep it moving.
I know you guys eyes forward all the time, but let's look back just as a rookie this time a year ago, right? Didn't catch a ball in the opener. Really probably took you about half a season to really hit your stride with this football team. How much more comfortable do you feel just having gone through an offseason, knowing what to expect in the National Football League?
Well, last year was more of a big learning process for me. I had some vets in front of me that I could learn from, and now this year is more like they're gone, so they just gave me the keys and the tools to take over for myself now and try to keep trying to get better and learn and keep doing the same thing for the rookies that come in after me.
And you're a young guy. You and Dede, both really young guys coming in here. But do you feel maybe a little bit of pressure to take on more of a leadership role in that wide receiver room? I mean, I know Dante's been in the league for a while, but DJ's a young guy. Marquise is gone now, so you can't lean on his expertise.
No, it's not really. We all the leaders in there. We all coach each other up. We all play together. So there's really no top dog in that room. We all play together. That's how we feel about that in the room.
When you look at what you wanted to approach this offseason in terms of improving your game, did you add any new elements to your game, or were you just like, look, I need to get better at everything, where there's some specific areas you wanted to focus on?
Well, I feel like in that case, everything happens naturally. When you watch your film and you take in all the moves you're watching and all the skill set that you're doing, and because, I mean, you can't work yourself that hard in the offseason, so it's more mental. So I feel like that just takes care of itself. You just mentally go do it. I mean, of course, I'm going to work out and try to do the things physically, but it'll happen based off reaction most of the time. So that's how I feel about when I'm training.
What's a typical week like in terms of film watching? How much time are you putting in doing that, and how much does a typical player put in?
I don't know about the typical player, but, I mean, for me, it's more when we leave here. So if we leave the facility around 6, then I'll watch it maybe 3 times. But, I mean, film's not really that long, so it probably takes about 40 minutes, 45 minutes each time, so you calculate that up.
Yeah. What have you seen from the Pats when you watch that defense on film this week?
Fundamentally sound team. They're good at what they do, and Coach puts them in great positions.
I know we don't want to look back at the AFC Championship game. Fans have been doing that, obviously, all offseason. But, look, regardless whether that happened or not, the Patriots have been the measuring stick in the AFC for a while. Are you looking forward to saying, hey, we may be the new measuring stick in the AFC? This is a pretty big game on Sunday.
We all go out to win. So, I mean, it's just all about winning the game. We're not worried about last year's things. They obviously a different team. Going to have 2 different new teams, 1-0, ready to go at it and get 2-0.
It is a big game, home opener. Fans are going to be hyped for this one. It's a late afternoon kick, national TV audience. What do you expect the atmosphere to be like here
It's going to be packed. I already know it's going to be packed. I know a lot of people that's going. I've heard there's a lot of people going, and we didn't take down we didn't add extra seats for no reason. So I'm excited as the fans are. So I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere, man. We're looking forward to seeing you not only today, but really blossoming your second season in the National Football League. I think great things ahead. Final thought: your quarterback Blake Bortles, working with him for the second off season now, getting off to a 1-0 start. What have you seen from him in the leadership department, the way he's prepared for this season, and just in general?
I just think he's just more comfortable. Y'all seen him running. He's ready to go for anything. Whether he got to run the ball, catch the ball, Obviously, he throws the ball, kick the ball. I'm sure Five's ready for anything. He's ready to go to war just like we are.
Yeah. Now, tell those linemen maybe don't put their hands up and think Blake's going to take it 80 yards next time.
Hey,
41 is good, though, right?
We might just put him back at punt return. I don't know. Five he'll take it back. We might just put him back at punt return and let him go.
If you get that crease, I'll put my hands up because I think you're going to take it to the distance. Hopefully that'll be the case today. Keelan Cole getting ready to take on the New England Patriots with his Jaguar teammates. Thanks for a few minutes, man.
Thank you.
There's Keelan Cole, and always a fun conversation with him. And we've talked about this receiving crew a good bit here, and there's not a true number one NFL number one considered guy, right? I mean, they're all a little inexperienced, you say,
absolutely,
compared to the average NFL wide receiver, but they all have moments in their career where they can step out and do some big things here.
They're capable. It's nice to have that number one. I know it's wonderful if you can spread the ball around, you're confident in everybody, but the number one guy draws coverage. He draws double teams, and there's no one that really demands a double team right now. Maybe that develops over the course of the season. I think that's the main benefit, in addition to the fact that number one guy is a great playmaker. I mean, you're going to maybe take that extra guy out of the box and balance out the defense's efforts, and for a team like the Jags, taking a guy out of the box would be a big deal.
All right, let's move along here. Time for our weekly visit with Jaguars sideline reporter Rick Ballou. We're going to find out this week, has Rick lost it?
Ricky don't lose that. Ricky don't lose.
Well, I don't know if I ever had it, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to lose a lot of weight today on the sideline. It is brutal. Got in here this morning, couldn't believe how hot it was, just making it from the parking lot here to the stadium, peeked my head out down on the sideline, and it's going to be just out of this world. But that's a good thing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This falls right into the category of an intangible, the heat. They practiced in it. They play in it again today. Hey, you've won 6 straight here at the bank. All of a sudden, you look around the NFL, this has become a huge home field advantage right here in Jacksonville. Ever since the Brady-Belichick era, they have dominated divisional foes, whether it's Buffalo, the New York Jets, or the Miami Dolphins. But, guys, they have struggled on the road in Miami, especially when it's hot. A couple of years ago was the last time they lost to Miami in a September ball game. They had a huge lead in that game. They were up by 17 points, yet they surrendered it in the fourth quarter, and heat was a factor. So, what are we looking for today? Here's one for you. How about winning on first down? With all the emphasis on third down, and New England wasn't great a week ago, 4 of 14. We're all aware of the fact that the Jaguars are one of the better third down defenses in all of the NFL. How about giving themselves good down and distance today? Even without Leonard Fournette, put yourself in a position where you're 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, not 2nd and 10. What does that do? Makes things a little bit less predictable defensively for the New England Patriots. I think it's a big game in a lot of different aspects. The Corey Grant effect, that'll be interesting. With Fournette not out and him getting a touch a week ago, what does he do this afternoon? We remember what he did in the first 30 minutes of play in January in Foxborough. Then he was surprisingly absent. Final thought I have on this game today, win or lose for Jacksonville, you gotta play to win the football game. Herm Edwards said it best, and when you saw the Super Bowl 2 weeks after the Jaguars lost, Philadelphia tried to win it. They gambled. They passed when you thought they would run. They ran when they thought that they would pass. They pulled off the big upset, knocking off New England. Today, down some key players, including Fournette, go out, try to win this game in front of the home crowd. I think it's going to be ugly, very similar to the playoff win against Buffalo. But I think the Jags win this football game 17-60.
Oh, the necessary 1 point.
I got it 20-16, so I got to make it
low
one more
scoring
field goal than Rick.
in Jacksonville. And drink a lot of water, man. It's going to be brutal. You guys are the luckiest people here in the studio.
It's cozy
It is
in here.
absolutely incredibly hot out there. I know they'll be drinking a lot of spirits, having a good time, mixing some water. It's going to be brutal.
Just driving in today, I got here about 10:30 or so, and it was already the tailgating lots were going crazy.
Yeah, we've been around here forever. I think maybe 99, Tennessee. I'm trying to think this is arguably the biggest regular season game that Jacksonville has ever had. Arguably.
If not, it's top 3. Got to be.
Yeah.
It's right there.
And next
near
week
the
it
top.
becomes even better because it's a conference game. It's a divisional game.
In terms of an anticipated game, Odegrant, it's tough to top the impact of the Morton Anderson missed field goal game against Atlanta, but going into it,
the build up and everything around
absolutely.
it.
I'm
Sure.
agreeing here.
And you know what? What might be pretty darn close if the Steelers can get something going early in this season is that primetime Steelers game here coming up later in the year. But this one today, a big one. New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars. Rick, well done.
Thanks, guys.
Stay hydrated, my friend.
I will. You as well.
Rick Ballou on the sidelines today on this broadcast. We'll return with the Ozone. Jaguars.com senior writer John Oehser joins us live in studio. Jeff Lageman, Tony Baselli return for some final thoughts as well. Jaguars Radio Network coverage begins at 3:30 with countdown to kickoff and a live visit with Jaguars owner Shad Khan. We're a little over an hour away from Week 2. The New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, this is Jaguars Radio.
Massage Envy announces their newest game changer, professionally assisted stretch. Increase mobility, flexibility, and blood flow. Add stretch to relaxing therapeutic massage sessions and you're game ready. Visit any of the 7 Jacksonville area Massage Envy locations in Bartram Park, Fleming Island, Harbor Village, Jacks Beach, Oakleaf, Ortega, and Southside. Text stretch to 82257 to receive a free 30-minute professionally assisted stretch offer when you purchase any massage session. Text the word stretch to 82257.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? You build the legendary F-Series trucks, America's best-selling trucks for 41 years, with Super Duty and Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year, the F-150. Now is a great time to check out Ford F-Series trucks, with great offers, leases, and financing at your local Ford store or online at buyfordnow.com. America's best-selling based on 2017 calendar year sales. Best-selling trucks based on sales December 1976 to November 2017.
This is the Pepsi that your father drank and your grandfather drank.
When I was your age, we were.
This is the Pepsi that your Uncle Ted drank when rock sounded like this. This is the Pepsi for American pastimes. Whether you're tailgating at a speedway or courtside watching your favorite player make a breakaway,
he scores!
This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
Who's the Jaguars MVP? At Mellow Mushroom, it all depends on their favorite ingredients. Each month of the 2018 season, Mellow Mushroom will highlight a Jaguars player's most valuable pizza and raise money for a charity of their choice. This September, try the Funky Q and support Blake Bortles and the Blake Bortles Foundation and its work with first responders and individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Visit mellowmushroom.com and find a restaurant location near you.
Storm season is here, and JEA is doing everything possible to prepare. We've invested millions in hardening our electric, water, and sewer systems to make them more resistant to extreme weather. By updating your contact information and signing up for alerts, you'll also be better prepared if a storm hits. And in the event we need to restore your power, we can keep you up to date on our efforts and get you back to normal sooner. Update your contact info today at JEA.com. JEA, building a more prepared community.
Looking to tailgate your dream RV this football season? Visit Campers Inn RV and shop their huge selection of fifth wheels, motorhomes, and travel trailers from the top manufacturers. Plus, with their integrity pricing guarantee, you'll never pay more for freight or dealer prep. There are no hidden fees in their prices ever. As a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're offering this season's game attendees $500 off the purchase of a new RV. Just show them your ticket. Visit Campers Inn RV, the RVer's trusted resource, I-10 West, exit 351, or campersinn.com today.
Final moments of the Publix Tailgate Show. The Patriots and the Jaguars tee it up at 4:25 at TIAA Bank Field. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. New daily shows on Jaguars.com and Jaguars social media. Jags Drive Time every morning, Monday through Friday. Well, 5 days a week, 8:30 a.m. And Jaguars Happy Hour, Monday through Thursday, starting at 4 each day. Available on the official team website, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars social media. It's time for a visit from the Ozone.
The Ozone.
Jaguars.com senior writer John Oehser joins us each and every week in this segment, and he's got a couple of friends with him here. Tony Baselli and Jeff Lageman return
friends,
as well.
I wouldn't say friends.
I have one
friend with me, and I have one Baselli with me.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a different.
Can this thing get here already? I feel like I've been waiting for this game for
a long day.
Yeah, it's long day, long
7
week.
months.
Yeah. Let's go.
What do you guys think about? I mean, I've heard all week that this is the biggest regular season game in team history.
I think it's the biggest regular season game for fans in terms of buildup. I think for players, I think you guys had 2 or 3 that matched this. With it being week 2, I find it hard to put, like, for importance, they've been bigger because it's not clinching anything.
Yeah,
it's not
playoff game
It's
stuff,
not knocking you out. You guys had 5 in a row bigger than this in '96.
Yeah, I was going to say, 96 Atlanta game was.
But build up, fans, all of that stuff. I think it's the most hyped. I think it's the most anticipated.
You know what it reminds me of? There's 2 games that came top of mind. Were the first Monday night game against Pittsburgh, which was a huge game, and then the Monday night game against the Dolphins. That for whatever it was like there wasn't a seat in the place,
right.
And everyone talked about it for so long. Those are the 2 games that stood out immediately from a fan's perspective. From a player's perspective, I can name a few more because of what it meant.
There's a bunch more, but I mean, look, you got arguably the greatest franchise in the NFL. I mean,
this is huge.
With the greatest of all time playing quarterback for them, and the recent memory is that you lost to him in the AFC title game the year before. So I mean, this is a huge game, and heck. If it didn't have the buildup or the excitement level, because I don't know about you guys. I mean, heck, going around town yesterday, I mean, there's Jaguars paraphernalia. I mean, I was drinking Teal beer last night. I mean, it's really it's crazy.
Oh, you weren't getting ready for the game?
I was prepping last night, drinking Teal beer. Yeah,
wow.
He didn't say he was drinking it this morning. He said he was drinking it last night.
Very professional.
Yeah. Tony was drinking it this morning.
Yeah. I knew immediately. I mean, you knew all week, but coming over the Hart Bridge 4.5 hours before the game. And there was traffic.
Backed up.
Yeah, and I was like,
good stuff.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Good stuff.
And so it's obviously, but as a player, from the fans I get, you have to keep it in perspective. It's week 2. I mean, you win.
Yeah, but it's still a big game.
No, I'm not saying it's not a big game, Jeff, but if you win, great, you're 2-0. That doesn't mean anything. If you lose, you're 1-1.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
You're still minimum tied for first.
There's a lot more significance to play in the season, but, I think Calais said it to me earlier in the week. He said, look, you never know what this game could mean down the road, and he's right, so from that standpoint, it is a big game.
And I think I always sort of shy away from the whole statement game, but I think there is an element of that with this. I think you beat these guys, you proved a lot last year, but you didn't prove you could beat these guys. And beating these guys in this league right now matters a great deal. So I think there is a statement element, although I don't love the term.
How much Yeldon, how much Grant on offense today, gentlemen? Johnny?
Well, I think a big dose of TJ, obviously, but I also think a big dose of Brandon Wild.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think that Corey Grant is going to be even carries with TJ Yeldon. I think if there are situations where they are trying to run between the tackles and really run out the clock, if that comes up, I don't know that they want Corey Grant playing that role. So I think you might see Brandon Wilds even more than Corey Grant in terms of number of carries, but not in terms of impact.
Interesting. Yeah. I want to see Corey Grant catch the ball out of the backfield. I want to see him touch the ball out of the backfield. And to not see him get really any touches last week was disappointing in my mind. I mean, you're talking about a guy that can be a significant weapon and was, arguably one of the best weapons that they had in the AFC title game. So
I think it's tough though, because when he's in the game, I think the other team knows certain things they're going to do. So I think it's tricky getting him the number of carries that people want.
Well, the other thing is, if you look at on tape, this Patriot defense, it's not the fastest defense. I mean, and I think he creates problems for their linebackers because they're good linebackers, but they're not Telvin Smith and Miles Jack. I mean, they're not great in coverage. That's why you see Belichick play a lot of safeties and regular personnel, multiple safeties, different looks. Because if you get the matchup of Corey Grant against the linebacker, that is a home run for
W.
you.
It's a W.
It's a win. I mean, that's a tough matchup for these Patriot linebackers. So I hope they do use them more, and I hope they get them in space and do some different things.
Who's the biggest standout on defense today? Who has the biggest game defensively?
For the Jaguars?
For the Jaguars.
I mean, take your pick.
Pick one then.
I'll say one that I think needs to have a big game, but it's the obvious one. It's the guys in the middle up front to push the pocket. But the guy I think that needs to clean up and benefit from a number standpoint is Ngakoue.
He's going against a left tackle and Trent Brown, who is a huge man, 6'8", 380, doesn't have great feet. And I think Ngakwe's going to have a field day on him. And I think Tom Brady is going to be scared to death to take, a 7-step drop, and I don't think he will take a 7-step drop. So I think he's a guy, that didn't have a sack last week, that, we know Ngakwe, and he knows that he's keeping track of sacks, and I think this is the week that he gets them in bunches.
Well, I've been talking. No, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I just think it's tough for him, Jeff, but I don't think he does it without a great push inside because Brady's not a deep dropper. And Trent Brown is so big, Brady will end up after he steps up at 5 yards. And so unless Ngakoue –
Even Dante's last year came because Brady was kind of backing out
it's
because of the inside
rush.
rush.
It's the only way you pressure Brady consistently is inside out. And so if those guys up front, the Darius, the Malik Jacksons, the Calais Campbells don't have big days, it's going to be hard for Ngakoue to get home.
And let me add this because Tony and I both agree. Malik Jackson came out of the blocks last week, at an unbelievably high level. Playing really well. Last year, he kind of was slow to get going, and I don't know what kind of an injury that he had, but there was something that was bothering him.
Yeah,
he finished strong. Wasn't it? It was a groin last year.
Okay, and then it took him kind of a while to get to being an impactful player. And now this year, first game out of the blocks, he was fantastic. And I think he needs to be, once again, really good in this game to help that edge pressure. And I don't know how good the New England Patriots are in the middle. I think if you looked at each individual player and broke them down as far as how good is this guy, you probably wouldn't say that they're that good. But together, those guys do a really good job together up front, and they have arguably the best offensive line coach in football, and Dante Scarnecchia.
For a long time. I think the linebacker speed for the Jaguars, Smith and Jack, is important. I think the Patriots like to try to run outside stuff and scheme it.
Well, more than that, Johnny, James White in the passing game. They want to get him one-on-one.
But if their speed can counter that, I think you have to get Brady in third and longs. I think the Jaguars have a unique ability to maybe counter that and put them in more third and longs than most teams do.
I want to see him hit a 41-year-old quarterback and see if he can take it. Seriously, that's the one thing that, can he handle it? When you get to be 41 years old, you start feeling the hits and put the hits on him. Hit him in the mouth.
Your legs go quicker at that age if you start getting hit.
Whatever has to go, I want to see something go out of him.
You want to see something go. I don't care if it's the legs or not.
That's right.
Something.
But he is great now.
Oh, yeah. Come on now. The guy's 41. He's still doing it at a high level. We saw what happened last year.
JP, Johnny, every year when you turn the tape on and watch Tom Brady, you're expecting something to fall off. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking like body parts. I'm talking
well, you're hoping
some level of performance.
I'd be surprised if I saw that.
Some level of performance that drops, whether it's the deep outs, or something, and it just doesn't.
I have an ex-player question for you guys. Heat. I haven't talked about it a lot. How big a factor could that be today?
Well, you would hope not for the Jags much because they practiced in it. They're used to it. I think it is an issue for the Patriots. Number one, they're really probably going to have 4 wide receivers, running around. Tom likes to spread the ball around. That could be an issue. It's supposed to be around 96, 97 at kickoff, the hottest game in the history of this franchise. Mm-hmm. That plays a factor as the game goes on. You would hope that as the home team, you're conditioned, you've been practicing it, that gives you some advantage. Mm-hmm. Most likely you see that advantage end of third quarter, start of fourth quarter, where it starts to show up.
And I would hope that it's an advantage, but here's the thing. A couple of years ago, I think it was Buffalo came to Jacksonville for an opening weekend, and it was hot, and everybody was going, the Bills are going to melt, and all of a sudden they came out, and it was a whooping the other way. So
you don't want that.
And here's
hold on.
The Patriots
good players make a difference too.
Patriots go up tempo. That'd be hard on any defense. I don't care if you're acclimated or not.
That's right.
Jeff Logum and Tony Baselli have a good call today. John, we'll look forward to your writing.
I'm ready.
A little bit later.
You sure you're ready?
Network coverage, countdown to kickoff. Pete Prisco, Fred Taylor, Doug Marone, and owner Shad Khan. We're an hour away from week 2. Patriots Jaguars next on Jaguars Radio.
Grab your passport. Virgin Atlantic wants to send you and a friend across the pond to watch the Jaguars take on the Eagles in London this season. Visit jaguars.com/Virgin Atlantic to enter the Touchdown in London sweepstakes. You could win a round-trip flight on Virgin Atlantic, a 3-night hotel stay, 2 tickets, and sideline passes to the game. Don't miss out as the Jags take on the defending Super Bowl champions at Wembley Stadium. Visit Jaguars.com/Virgin Atlantic. Keep calm and fly on, Jags fans.
At Farrah & Farrah, our philosophy can be boiled down to one word: respect. Respect for every client regardless of who they are or the size of their case. Respect for innocent victims, and respect for the law. So when the insurance company thinks they can bully you instead of paying a claim, we respectfully disagree. If you're hurt, call Farrah & Farrah. We'll help you get the respect you deserve. Call 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Lori Fournette, mother of Jacksonville Jaguars running back Leonard Fournette. My son is always prepared with a game day plan, and so am I. As a busy mom, I'm always looking for easy ways to save time. Publix helps me tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, assorted varieties of Tide Pods, 26 to 35 count, are on sale for $9.99.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here for the best barbecue in town. That is Bono's. Head to Bono's today. 15 locations on the First Coast and 6 more at TIAA Bank Field. You see, Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You want great barbecue, you want Bono's. Plenty of parking, clean family restaurants, and oh, by the way, the best barbecue you have ever had. So if you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today, the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Some things make a house your home. Like cozy indoor warmth that makes bare feet on a chilly day your thing. When heating with natural gas, you get faster, warmer comfort, save money, and earn a rebate up to $725. Your home. Our safe, reliable, efficient energy. Love natural gas. Find rebate details at peoplesgas.com.
At Navy Mutual, we've been providing life insurance and annuity products for current and former military families since 1879. We've always held that our life insurance products should never be bound by fine print or military service restrictions. While much has changed in the past 130 years, the compass that guides us never has. To learn how we can protect your family, visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Shotgun. Blake keeps it on his own read. Got a lot of room. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Blake Bortles at a 45, runs out of bounds near midfield. A 41-yard gain by Blake Bortles.
Welcome to Countdown to Kickoff. Countdown to Kickoff. In the next hour, we'll bring you everything you need to know about today's game and the latest news from around the NFL. You'll hear from Jaguars great Fred Taylor, Pete Prisco, and Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone. Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farrah & Farrah, Geico, Ticket Exchange, and by TIAA Bank. Let's get the countdown started. Here are Mike Dempsey and JP Shadrick.
It is week 2 in the National Football League, and one of the most hyped regular season games in franchise history is an hour away, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. The defending AFC champion New England Patriots at 1-0 and the 1-0 Jacksonville Jaguars. Kickoff time at 4:25. Today's game presented by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform. JP Shadrick with Jaguars owner Shad Khan live in studio. Great to see you, sir. How are you?
Great to be here.
It's a great day for everybody to be here. Everybody's fired up. It is. It's one of the most anticipated games in the regular season for this franchise, really since the start of the franchise in '95. You've been here for a few days now. What have you seen around town here in Jacksonville?
Well, I think it's been an amazing experience for me. I'm really glad I got here early and really been around the city, really the pride people feel, and, for me to really just get the awareness and the vibe that, what this team means to the area.
Yeah, driving in today, I mean, the crowds and the traffic and all that, I mean, they were here early. and they were getting after it early today.
Well, they were. I would say they were here early Thursday. Okay, when I was here for the first concert at Daly's place, and they were partying then. And some of them, I think, are still here. So, big concert, obviously, Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, all week
Friday.
leading up. Yeah, the kickoff concert series at Daly's place. Have you talked to the players? What are the coaches feeling like? That's the vibe outside the building, right? What about inside the walls here at TIAA Bank Field?
I think it's the vibe is amazing, and really, I kind of discovered since that middle of last year the quiet, workmanlike confidence to really go and get the job done. And so, yes, I talked to the coaches, the players, and I talked to Blake Thursday after practice, and he knows I've got to go overseas after the game, and he was telling me I'm going to be going to bed with a big smile on my face. So so I've been counting on that.
Got to live up to it now. Yeah. Jaguars owner Shad Khan is with us. Last week in New York, Jaguars opened the season with a big victory over the New York Football Giants. Jags went to Houston last year, Week 1, and an environment a lot of people didn't expect what was going to be the Jaguars football team last year. They go in and destroy Houston. Well, you go to New York last week and knock off the Giants on the road to start the season. How did those compare to you, and what did you feel last week in New York?
Well, I think Houston was really a pleasant surprise last year. I think this year, there were expectations. Players as well as coaches and the fans and supporters that, we're a good team and, we expect to win. So it was kind of amazing what one season will affect people's expectations in a good way.
It does, indeed. And now the national perception, I think, if the franchise has changed a bit. They were in the AFC Championship game last year. Are you enjoying that when you travel around? People know that, hey, this is the Jaguars now, and they're competing, right? That helps.
Yeah, I think there's huge amount of awareness. And, I've been up and about here in the city and obviously in the country. And there is expectations. I think we are getting new fans and from the area, but more importantly from outside Jacksonville.
We're a few weeks away, Mr. Khan, from the trip to London against the Philadelphia Eagles. And for the NFL in London, it's got to be the biggest matchup hype for a game ever in London with the defending Super Bowl champs and the Jaguars, who were in the AFC Championship game a year ago. There's a lot of attention on that matchup. We know your business and such in London is a big deal, and with that game going there in a few weeks, I mean, are you excited for that matchup? I know we're a little bit away. A lot of football left between now and then, but that'll be a fun week.
I think it's going to be a fun week. I think it's going to be a great week. And there were a number of articles written really before the season started that was the most desirable ticket in the regular season in football, period. So
not just London.
Not just London.
The entire league.
The whole league, every game. Wow. And it was the most desirable ticket. And if you followed third-party ticket sellers and what have you, the game sold out in a few hours, and a lot of fans were really disappointed. They didn't get the ticket. So that, again, is, something, the Jaguars, now you got to remember, we've won there 3 years in a row. 3 games we won all season. One of them was there. Obviously, 5 games in season. 1 was there, and last year. So our players love being there. I think that's the most important aspect, and they love, the support that we've seen there as well as here in Jacksonville.
We're less than an hour away from kickoff against the Patriots. What are you doing next? What's between now and the kick?
Well, I got a routine.
Which is?
I'll share if we have the right result, okay? So it's a secret recipe that, I'm kind of perfecting right now, the secret sauce, okay?
Okay, it's still in the oven. We'll take it out of the oven after the game today. Yeah. We always appreciate you coming in during the home opener, getting ready for this fantastic game day of the Patriots and the Jaguars. Enjoy it. Let's get a W today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Jaguars owner Shad Khan with us. We'll return. Mike Dempsey back with us with the top headlines for today's game. This is Countdown to Kickoff on Jaguars Radio.
Follow the Jaguars non-stop when you fly from Jacksonville International Airport. JAX has convenient nonstop service to every single away game this season. Watch the Jags take on teams in New York, Kansas City, Dallas, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Nashville, Miami, Houston, and Minneapolis. So huddle with the family, formulate your game plan, and book your flights today. A complete list of nonstop flights from JAX can be found at flyjax.com.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Okay, so we're here to see who's going to go for the win. First off, Molly took it to the next level with the chairs and the coolers.
Here comes Emma, bringing it with those killer boots and that portable grill. Oh my, I think she's going for it.
Mom, I think the hot dogs are on fire.
Hold on, honey. Ladies, where did you go to get ready for the game?
Steinmart. Visit any one of our 6 locations in Jacksonville for all your tailgating needs as we proudly support the Jaguars this season. Steinmart. Saving is a beautiful thing.
At Papa John's, we like to say, better sausage, better beef, better bacon, better julienne-cut Canadian bacon, better pepperoni. Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium meats pizza made with 5 premium meats free of artificial flavors or fillers. Or our new barbecue meats pizza made with smoky Southern-style barbecue sauce for only $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
Countdown to kickoff continues. The Jags and the New England Patriots. 4:25 the kickoff time here at TIAA Bank Field. The game today presented by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. Our thanks to Jaguars owner Shad Khan for joining us in the opening of this program today ahead of the 4:25 kickoff. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. Let's get to today's top stories. We start off with going back to January, the AFC Championship game rematch. It's all the talk around Jacksonville, not only this week, but the months leading up to this game. A fourth quarter to forget. Started with a Miles Jack, wasn't down play, and for Miles Jack himself, it's one of the biggest games he's ever played.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it is. It's definitely the most important game of my life just because of, number one, the magnitude of the game. Number two, we want to go 2-0 in this season. And then playing a team like New England, if at the end of the day we feel like we're going to be in the playoffs, so we want to win. We want to gain home field advantage. So we feel like beating a team like New England, who's typically number one in the division, if we can get a win on them, that would be huge. So most important week of my life for sure.
Yeah, that's the way he knows what happened in January. He knows the signage and the beer and the everything that's named after him, the T-shirts and all that. But it's week 2. You got to go win this game and then make a statement in 2018.
Right, sure. We'll worry about the rest of 2018, though, after today. It's the most important game in all of their lives, JP, because it's coming up here in about, half an hour or so before we kick things off, 45 minutes or whatever the case it is. My timing was a little bit off. I'm not used to that 4:25
so clock,
kick.
The little hand
I glanced
and the
at
big
the
hand.
Clock, 45 minutes.
So you might can
45 minutes, JP.
Okay.
No, it's a big game, obviously. Miles Jack started the season off in terrific fashion, leading the Jaguars in tackles, scoring opportunistically on defense on a play that was set up by Unique Ngakoue and Avery Jones, so with the pressure and the tip. And, look, I think we're expecting many more big performances out of Miles Jack this year.
Jalen Ramsey, always in the news, it seems
Him
like,
too, yeah.
With everything going on in those articles in the offseason. ESPN The Magazine article, he had some comments about Rob Gronkowski not being as great as everybody thought he is. Well, he had some added comments about Gronko, and he was asked about it this week.
He good now. We ain't going to get it twisted. He's good, but, you saying this to me, is it supposed to, bring fear to me or something? Like, all right, then. I don't fear no man, period. So he going to have to come out there and line up on me. Or however it goes. I mean, he got to play. He got to play us this year.
Love it. Jalen Ramsey always has something. And a couple of gems this week as well. He said he'd hit his own grandmother
Yes, he did.
Look,
I understand the sentiment. It basically doesn't matter. We can all be buddies. We can all have a good time and laugh. It's serious business for 3 hours every Sunday afternoon. And I just don't know how much we're actually going to see Jalen Ramsey line up on Gronk today. If the Jags feel that's the best in a particular situation, we might see a sprinkling of it. I don't expect that to be the main way they try to defend him.
Okay, we'll come back. Those are the top stories today. The Jaguars and the Patriots. By the way, Leonard Fournette inactive for this game. That's the most notable inactive player for the Jaguars today. Calais Campbell is a go. He will play. Mike Dempsey and Pete Prisco when we return. The Jags and the Patriots at 4:25, and this is Countdown to Kickoff on the Jaguars Radio Network. You say there's nothing quite like the feel of the open road when you ride a motorcycle. You know it takes concentration, knowledge, and skills beyond those required to drive a car. Ride Smart Florida would like to take this opportunity to remind you to enjoy the road, but to always ride smart. S-M-A-R-T. Say no to drinking and riding. Make yourself more visible to motorists. Always wear your helmet. Ride in control. Train regularly and get endorsed. Visit ridesmartflorida.com for more details. Do you ride smart? This message is provided by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Jags fans, are you paying with pride wherever you go? Dining out, at the store, wherever you are. Now you can with the Jaguars Visa debit card, only available at TIAA Bank. It's yours free when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. So are you ready to up your financial game? Visit a financial center near you or find us at TIAABank.com/JagsCard. The official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC.
This is Clark Judge of the Talk of Fame Network with news you should know this NFL season. FanDuel now has more ways to win than ever. Like introducing a new tool called Guru to help you pick lineups and feel confident heading into game day. Just start by picking a player, then let Guru do the rest. So for instance, if you pick a certain quarterback, Guru uses tested DFS strategies to pair the best wide receivers and tight ends with him. Sound easy? Well, it is. Plus, when you make your first deposit, FanDuel gives you a $20 bonus. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Clark, and you can thank me later.
Jaguars owner Shad Khan on creating the best customer experience.
Game day is special, and when the Jags take the field, we want every fan to have the best game day possible. That's why we partnered with Dailies. They even have 3 locations in the stadium. They know what makes for a great customer experience. From the kickoff kit program to the way they treat our fans at the game. It's like they say, it's nicer here. I can't think of a better game day partner. I also happen to like their coffee.
To experience what Shad is talking about, visit a Dailies at TIAA Bank Field or any of our 29 Jacksonville locations.
We continue to count down to kickoff to one of the biggest games we've seen here at TIAA Bank Field in a long, long time. The Jaguars getting ready to host the New England Patriots. And joining me now from CBS Sports, their senior NFL writer, Mr. Pete Prisco. Hi, Pete. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Mike? You geared up?
I am, man. I think all of Jacksonville is ready for this one. I think they've all been anticipating this game since the schedule came out, and we saw they're going to get a chance to rematch with the Patriots early in the season as the home opener. Pete, do you believe the players, the common theme is they put the AFC Championship game loss to the Pats behind them. Do you believe that, or do you think it is still a great source of motivation this afternoon?
Oh, I think it's a great source of motivation. I mean, how can you put that behind you? And granted, things that happened a year ago or at least 9 months ago don't really carry over, but the hurt, the sting, how it happened, I think that all carries over. 3rd and 18 is a play that I think will be, embedded in their minds at least until this one's over. Because, look, they make a stop there in the fourth quarter on 3rd and 18. They get off the field. They probably go on and win that game. I definitely believe it's still in their heads.
Yeah, there were a handful of those plays. There was a delayed game late in the first half that if it doesn't get called or if they get the snap off a second quicker, they convert a first down, and then they're probably tacking on a field goal and going into halftime at least up 14 instead of only up 4. So that's all water under the bridge now. Moving forward, no Leonard Fournette today, Pete. So T.J. Yeldon and Corey Grant, do you think they can get the job done on the ground versus New England?
Well, I don't think it's going to be necessarily trying to get the job done on the ground. I think what you'll see is similar to what they did in the first half against New England in the championship game. I think they'll use those guys in space a little bit more. You can't just line up and power those 2 guys into the middle of the defense. I don't think so. I think you'll see him more involved in the passing game. You might get a little more creative. But watching New England last week, the one thing I did notice is there were some cracks and creases for guys to run up the middle. So if they want to stay with it, and then Yeldon will have some opportunities inside.
All right, Pete, they got conservative with the game plan in January at the end of the first half, deep in their own territory. They kind of telegraphed that they were just content to run the ball. Do you think they'll let Blake Bortles take the reins off a little bit more and cut him loose and be more aggressive in the passing game today?
Well, I mean, if you play Tom Brady, you got to be aggressive. And as good as the Jaguars' defense is, Tom Brady's arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. And they held him in check for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, he got loose last year in the championship game. But you know what, Mike? They went out and they signed Andrew Norwell for one reason, to be able to run the ball with the lead. The problem is they didn't run the ball with the lead last week against the Giants, and so that has to be concerning. So I would say open them up early. You know, get some plays out in space, get Grant out in space, get the receivers out in space, do some RPOs, boot him, and do some read option stuff. But when you need to run the ball, you better be able to run the ball. Cost you the championship game a year ago.
All right, flip it around. Tom Brady, he's pretty good, Pete. I think you've heard about that. What's the best approach to containing Brady and this Patriots offense for the Jags today?
They got to take Gronk away, or at least try to. And just in watching the game last week, his touchdown catch came on a double. I mean, the guy's a machine. He threw to him two other times when he had the double on him, 2 guys bracketing him. So you got to be careful how much attention you pay to him, because you can get loose with some of the other guys. But I thought the Texans did a nice job of eliminating the other guys, and he made his plays. You got to give him credit. Look, the guy's a great player, arguably the best tight end in the history of the game. Even when he's covered, he's not covered, and Brady will throw him the football. So I think you got to be patient, but you also have to get some hits on Brady. We've seen that over the years, Mike. He sees ghosts at times. As great as he is, he starts ducking and leaning and bobbing, and the great teams that have beat him are the ones that have hit him. The Giants in the Super Bowls and the Broncos when they beat him in the championship game. If you hit him, I think that's the key to the entire thing.
And maybe Dante Fowler then becomes a big key. 2 sacks in the AFC title game. He is active for the first time this season today. Pete, how big of an impact do you think he'll have?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, what kind of shape is he in? I know he missed a lot of camp, and therefore that's a little bit of a concern. But if he can get back onto the field and play the way he played at the end of last year, then I think it's a big impact, and it gives him another body to be able to rush the passer. They like to come in waves, and they like to rotate guys in and out. So I think having him back on the field is a good thing. The man plays hard all the time, Mike. He's a tough kid. He's just not the elite pass rusher that they thought he was when they picked him, but he's good enough that he can get the pressure on the quarterback opposite Ngakoue, and when they go inside, when they put Campbell and Malik Jackson inside. So I think it's a good group up front. I think it'll help aid the pass rush, particularly from a depth standpoint.
All right, we got to wrap it up here. Pete Prisco, CBS Sports. Pete, what's your gut tell you to the Jags get to 2-0?
Yeah, I think this is like their Super Bowl this week. I really do. And I'm not saying that it's going to be the Super Bowl, because I still think they have a legitimate chance. In fact, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. But this is one of those games, a proving ground game. A lot of people say, okay, the Jaguars are good. They can push for a Super Bowl spot. But if they go into that game and shut down Brady with arguably one of a defense that could be one of the all-time greats, then I think people's eyes get opened even wider, and they say, you know what, this is a legitimate team. So I know the hype in Jacksonville has been real this week. I know that the place is going to be electric all day. This is going to feel like back in the glory days, and I think they somehow find a way to pull off the upset. I look for that defensive line to get after Brady, hit him a bunch, and make him see ghosts. I think Jacksonville wins the game.
I hope you're absolutely right, and either way, we'll talk about it in the pregame next week on Countdown to Kickoff. Pete, thanks for the time as always, man.
You got it, Mike. Take care.
All right, buddy. There he goes. Pete Prisco from CBS Sports, CBSSports.com. We'll head to the booth next. Frank Franchi, Jeff Loggeman, and Tony Baselli standing by. This is Jaguars Radio.
Welcome to Jimmy John's.
Hi. Your new 9-grain wheat sub is so good. How do you make it?
With the highest quality ingredients and love. I mean, we definitely don't sing at lullabies when it's baking. Lullabies are what parents sing to babies.
Right.
And we don't use a baby carrier to carry the warm, fresh 9-grain wheat subs to the cooling racks. I mean, they're not babies. They're for making delicious sandwiches.
Okay. I'll take a turkey tom.
Oh, don't name them. It makes it harder.
Try our new 9-grain wheat sub, Jimmy John's. Wheat yeah, freak yeah.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? You build the legendary F-Series trucks, America's best-selling trucks for 41 years, with Super Duty and Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year, the F-150. Now is a great time to check out Ford F-Series trucks with great offers, leases, and financing at your local Ford store or online at buyfordnow.com. America's best-selling based on 2017 calendar year sales. Best-selling trucks based on sales December 1976 to November 2017.
Jags fans, looking to buy a home or refinance your mortgage? Reap the rewards of going with TIAA Bank, the official bank of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Competitive rates, a range of lending options, and unbeatable service are just some of what sets us apart on the playing field. Connect with a TIAA Bank mortgage expert today by visiting them online at TIAABank.com/lending team. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Tony Baselli. It's no secret that I love the sandwiches at Daly's Dash. But there's one sandwich that stands above the rest of them, and it keeps me coming back over and over again. It's called the Boss. They pile that bad boy with lots of roast beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions, and of course some Dash sauce. Which, as much as I travel during football season, this sandwich is one more thing that makes me eager to get back to Jacksonville. I could eat the Boss every day. Daly's, a local Jacksonville company. It's nicer here.
Who's the Jaguars MVP? At Mellow Mushroom, it all depends on their favorite ingredients. Each month of the 2018 season, Mellow Mushroom will highlight a Jaguars player's most valuable pizza and raise money for a charity of their choice. This September, try the Funky Q and support Blake Bortles and the Blake Bortles Foundation and its work with first responders and individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Visit mellowmushroom.com and find a restaurant location near you.
This is Lori Fournette, mother of Jacksonville Jaguars running back Leonard Fournette. My son is always prepared with a game day plan, and so am I. As a busy mom, I'm always looking for easy ways to save time. Publix helps me tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, assorted varieties of Pantene shampoo and conditioner, 24 to 25.4 ounces, are on sale. 2 for $12.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
And we welcome you back to Countdown to Kickoff from our broadcast position here at TIAA Bank Field. And it is hot. Frangie, Baselli, and Loggeman. Logs, it's hot.
It
like
is.
Hot today.
And it may end up breaking the Jaguars' record for the hottest game in franchise history, which is kind of amazing that the record is currently at 90, and there's like a handful of games right at 90 degrees, but a 425 kick is probably going to be in the range of 94, 95 degrees. And in the sunlight on the field, add 10 degrees to that.
Tony, does it affect the game? I mean, everyone practices in the heat now, even if you're in New England, right?
Yeah, but not this type of heat. This is a different heat. I actually, as an offensive lineman, loved it because I knew these guys, I'm pointing to Jeff Logman right now, had to chase the ball. And so as an offensive lineman, is if you can get a rhythm going and getting after them, I promise you by the third or fourth quarter, you're going to wear them out. And I just always felt like the heat was an advantage for me in any situation because them chasing guys is going to be hard.
Well, I think Tony's right, and it's because the offensive players know where they're going. And the defensive players, I've always believed this, that when you have to react, it expends more energy than it does when you're trying to run a route or whatever.